It's gonna be a big fest, that's for certain. And I'm excited to bring you all of this action with Universe by my side too. Because come on, think about it, Universe. 6.5 lakhs on the line. First place gets the biggest lion's share with 3.5. They're fighting for a lot. And don't forget, if you guys win here, you're gonna be going on a one plane trip over to the Philippines. It's gonna be huge. Yeah, don't forget, this is just the qualifiers. There's an even bigger tournament coming on down the line, and people who qualify here can represent themselves in the world stage.
Absolutely. And of course, this does have, a great amount of, does have a great amount of, prize pool. And it is going to be a really good, opportunity for the teams to not just win, this amount, but also, like you mentioned, go to the Philippines and participate in a much bigger league and, hopefully represent India on a better and bigger stage and win something. But ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at the two teams that are coming up against each other in the first quarterfinal. It is Badua Lipa up against Grayfox Esports. Now, of course, if you are new to this stream, if you're joining us for the first time, of course, BL is filled with Hoax, Shivy, Sai, JN, DC Rules. This is their playing fight and winner, who I believe is the sixth of the team. And on the other side, Grayfox, it is ASDF. We've got Ion Q, Panzer, Badlove, and Trist with Godspeed as a coach, by the way, who was a former God's Reign and Bleed assistant coach as well. Let's have a look at the map veto, though, as I do want to ask you, Aggressive, two really, strong teams and pretty, split out kind of a veto, which ends with a little bit of a high note on Lotus. What do you think about both teams and, of course, the veto as well?
Overall, the map veto looks to be very standardized. Haven getting that first initial pickup, not really the biggest surprise, because the way that a lot of teams are currently playing out, especially in the professional level, most of them either ban out Haven or they pick Haven because they want it to be the best starting map. This is where you really test yourself as a team. Do you know the bare bone basics of how to play Valorant? Initially, what we always talked about was Ascent. Ascent is a map that will get picked up by pretty much every single team because that's where comfort lies. But because of how one-dimensional the Ascent structure has become over time, a lot of teams have now shifted their attention to Haven, because not only does it play out to the fundamentals of the game, but it also allows for creativity. So the fact that Grayfox did pick out Haven to be their first initial map, they want to feel out exactly what Badua Lipa are going to try to do before they want to go for something a lot more innovative.
Yeah, I agree as well. I think that Haven is going to be a little bit more of a competitive match than Bind. I say it in this particular reason that I think Grayfox have been a little bit more, of a standard disciplined team. Let's have a look at their, comps before we do get into it. Of course, we've got the infamous squad BL going in with, I believe, a breach pick. Okay, if they're going for that double initiative, all right, I like that. Got Sai with the Sova. Okay, we couldn't have a look at that for too long, but with the sneak peek that we got, of course, the breach is there. We've got a Sova on one side. It's a pretty standard comp on Badua Lipa, but what do you think about the other side? How do you think Grayfox are going to be matching up against this team?
From what I did witness, it's pretty much an exactly mirrored setup. Even I didn't really get a good look at it.
It went by too quickly.
But that's gonna go, right? Think about it. The players already know what they're gonna play. They have set strategies in mind, and that is how it's meant to be. But think about it like this overall. The members of Grayfox, they have an idea of what they really want to do on this map. They've been practicing for a really long time. But from the side of Badua Lipa, from what we have heard previously, there are a large group of friends that just came together. They are individually talented. Don't get me wrong. Every single one of these players, they can easily take over a server just by themselves. But how long have they played? That's the biggest question, right?
True, that is true that this team is going to have, I think, a little bit of chemistry issue, but it's not that it just goes completely out of the window, because they have been playing together. They know each other on a more personal level, of course. So it's not going to be as bad as you expect, because if they've come this far, then they are doing pretty well. But of course, to come from the round of 128 till the round of quarterfinals is a pretty good journey. But you most likely, if you've got a super team like this, or you could call it, with these players who've played at the highest level in this region, I think that we were expecting them to come this far. But here is where their true test of Valorant and discipline comes into action, where they might need a little more than just individual prowess to get these rounds out. They need a little bit more of team play. How well is that breach gonna fit in with that jet, or is that Sova gonna be a complement to the breach and jet combo? How well do they utilize their set strategies, if at all there are any? Because I believe that the side of BL, they've got, like you mentioned, a little bit more chemistry thanks to the longer
True.
time that they've stuck together. But is that going to be enough against a team who've been constantly playing at, they've played in the VCL SA as well, right? A little
True,
while
true.
ago. A lot of their players, Sai was there, Hoax was there. Of course, Shivi was also playing in it. Do you think that them playing at that level has gotten more experience? Because players like ASDF, we've got of course Panzer, they've not played at that level, and they've not been playing consistently at that level. Do you think that might be a problem for them facing off against the individual prowess of BL?
I think there will be a little bit of an experience differential, especially when you're playing on such a stage. But I think
Mm-hmm.
it's all going to come down to the nerves. Whichever players from the side of Gray are a little bit more nervous will start to feel the heat. But I think
Yep.
now that they do have Godspeed as a coach, if things get a little bit disarrayed, he can just calm
Mm-hmm.
things down with just one pause. That's why
True.
those two pauses exist, and that's why the coach is there as well. The coach's job is not always to just analyze the game for the players. He's there to
Mm-hmm.
calm them down, give them a direction at the bare minimum to push forward. So I think that Godspeed overall is going to be the biggest crutch factor for the side of Gray. But then
Agreed.
again, you just said it yourself, that five individual talents that have personally known each other for such a long time, that could be a very big hurdle for the members of Grayfox to even come off of here. But for
Yeah.
now, I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Because, first of all, they've been playing together for a really long time. I've seen Ion going in for a lot of queues and a lot of scrims with this team. So they got the practice in. But is it going to be enough? That's what we're here to find out.
Absolutely. And while we talk about Bind, they do have, I just had a look that they do have mirror compositions. They've got the Sova and the Breach on both sides. And we've known Hoax to be a really good Breach player, right? And he's, of course, picked that up again. And Sai is continuing with that Sova, who is also known for that. Do you think that this double initiator comp depends on the fact that you start on defense better or attack? Where do you think the advantage lies on this map of Haven, going in as both these teams have mirror comps?
I'm thinking that overall this composition favors the defensive side a little bit more if you have certain set plays in mind. We've seen how
Mm-hmm.
destructive that breach can be when it comes down to the defensive end, because it allows you
Yeah.
to take a lot of space really quickly without any forms of repercussion. Primarily because Haven has a long sightline and a singular corridor to enter most of the different avenues. If you want to take over window control, or if you want to take over A main control, you need to go through one single corridor to get in, and that's where the
Yep.
advantages of the breach lies. If you have a
Mm-hmm.
really strong defensive hab, then you can snowball it out of control on the attack. But don't forget, Haven has three sides, so overall it is still an attack favored map, and that's why
Mm-hmm.
breach is picked up on the defensive side to take one
Yep.
side completely away from the attackers and then bolster the defenses on the other end. It all really comes down to strategy.
Agreed.
And I wouldn't say that there is a specific advantage that I would give to either team because of the
Mm-hmm.
compositions that they have. It's about how they're going to play through with it.
I agree as well. I think that the breach is going to be quite the factor, but again, how well is that jet going to be utilized with the
True, true.
breach? I honestly, at this point, end up preferring a little bit of raise on this map, because I think
A
the
lot of
Jet
people
should
do.
fall out of favor. I think that the Jet needs to kind of fall out of favor. But Haven is again one of those, I think, few maps where the Jet is still viable thanks to the verticality that he can pick up with this agent. Even though it's just one updraft at this point, it's still really really useful, right? But it's like probably on Haven and Ascent are the only two maps that we can maybe see the Jet still as the singular duelist. As much as she has been nerfed into the ground, people still love it because that dash still proves to be just as viable. But talking about the Killjoy, of course, the recent nerf that she also kind of took a hit. The 9 orb ultimate now. I remember a time where we were at 7 as being the max, then we explored 8, now we're on to 9. It's like
It's gonna be
it,
10
it,
soon. Don't worry about it.
it there's probably going to be a number 10 soon, but you see it's almost as if they're rescinding these ultimates to be used once if you're not able to frag out, if you're not able to collect those orbs, and if you just keep dying, right? You pick up an ultimate maybe once in 7-8 rounds. Isn't that kind of a
True.
detriment to the point of using abilities to win rounds?
I think they really just want to reduce the amount of. Think about it. They just want to reduce the amount of time the
Hmm.
ultimates are up because the Killjoy lockdown can easily take over a site, correct? And
Yep, yep,
imagine you
true.
getting that like 3 or 4 times and a half. That seems to be very disruptive to any form of a
Hmm.
defensive setup. That's why they constantly kept on increasing it. And over time, I'm pretty
Yep.
sure you talked about this as well. Let's backtrack 2 years ago when Killjoy just
Hmm.
had like 7 ultimate points for that
Yeah.
particular ultimate. Players didn't
And
get it that
it's
often. They never got it
it's
that often.
Yeah, there was also the counterpoint to it that a one singular breach aftershock could take it out. For there
Oh
was
yeah,
a long
that's
period
true.
of time. If you have a killjoy, you have a breach. You might as well not use the ultimate in places where the breach is alive, because he's gonna take it out with a single ability that costs 250 credits, right?
Is
It
it like
it
150?
two
I don't remember.
no it was
It was
250,
one.
and then then I think, and yeah, man, it was a long time ago. Anyway, we're
Yep.
here now, and the breach aftershock has also been, I wouldn't say it's been nerfed, but it
It's
you know
been
80
buffed, not gonna
damage,
lie. Not a lot of
80
kill
damage,
potential.
2
Too.
hits. Yeah, 80 damage, 2 hits. You practically lose your life if you're standing right in the center of it. Before, you could at least take 2 hits and survive somehow, but now you can't take 2 hits. You just have to take the one and get away as soon as possible. But either way, look, I do want, because we're kind of stalling time at this point, because yes, there is a little bit of a technical issue that we're quickly fixing up, ladies and gentlemen. I do want to ask you, Abrasive, who do you think might take this game? In your opinion, is it going to be BL, or do you see Grayfox maybe edging this one out?
I'm thinking that Grayfox should have that edge on their side because of how long they have practiced. But from what I've seen, the members of DL just have something a little bit more different up their sleeves. This squad has been playing together in other tournaments as well, and it seems like they have a really good chemistry setup between each other. But then again, if I remember properly, I did see Venka play with them in the past. Now, Venka's not going to be in this roster, so is it going to be a problem? That's where my biggest question lies.
I mean, yeah, of course. Vink has gone on to become quite a bit of a star. I would say he's,
True.
he's ascended to a pretty good level. He's playing at the highest possible level. But of course, I believe that for the moment, it is going to be, team strategies that work over more individual prowess. And not to take anything away from, the side of Badua Lipa, but I believe that their players, for as much experience as they've got, they need to also kind of stand up on their aim, because some of these youngsters can just flick, click, and just absolutely get away from there. And they're really good at it, because the most you can do is, okay, you know what, you've got a recon, you've got a stun, you've got everything set up, the Jet dashes in, he's got the knives, yeah, boom boom, yeah, But on the other side, if you've got another, an 18-year-old kid who's just gonna, pop your head in the air and just run away, all the utility goes to naught, right? And you lose your jet in the process as well. So I hope that they're, as good as they are trained on their aim, because some of these kids are honestly getting really cracked with their aim. Is like you just mentioned, Venka. ASDF is really good on his aim, and Ion Q, as we all know, he's been here for quite some time, and he's also one of those versatile players. I'm not quite sure if he is playing the jet role. I am not quite sure, but we will have a look pretty soon.
I think so.
I think he is, right? Yeah, he might.
Yeah, it should be.
Yep. Well,
because Trist is on the team, so of course I think he's playing the jet.
Well, let's hope that he does give us a good show, and hope that this technical pause does end up pretty quickly, because the first quarterfinal is gonna just lead us to a lot more of better Valorant. Of course, later today we've got another game, which is, I believe, reckoning up against Metal Esports.
Yes.
Now that's also going to be quite the fight, of course, because Metal have, they've got a pretty crazy squad in them. Of course, they've got Venka in there, the guy that we mentioned. They've also got Wimp, Blackhawk, Paradox. They've got that 3 back from when they were in Revenant Esports, and Easy as well, who's on that team, and One Tap God as, I believe, the 6th. So this is going to be quite a matchup against the Reckoning squad, who, by the way, were second at the who was placed second at the VCLSA, and they've got some changes pretty much themselves as well. Adding Caramel, they've got ANQ, and I believe Flavin's not a part of the squad right now. They've got Fox and Megatron, and Havoya is still a part of it as well. So they've gone through a lot of change themselves.
Yeah, a lot of roster changes, and a lot of these players, maybe you can enlighten me a little bit here. Who are they exactly? I haven't heard of a person named ANQ.
I mean, ANQ, I believe, is another import that they've got. I've not seen him play as well myself, but Voya, the Russian, he's amazing at his role. He's pretty versatile. He knows his way around multiple agents. He was probably one of their better players at VCLSA across both splits, and he's one of the main reasons, apart from Flab and Trist, in my humble opinion, who allowed them to get to a fighting chance against Orangutan in that final game at the VCLSA. And I believe that this game is going to be, Reckoning Esports should have the upper hand. But in the recent past, Reckoning have kind of not been at their best, if I have to say. They've suffered a couple of losses against, I believe, Team Sarafa, who, by the way, again, a great team with some amazingly talented, players. Experience plus youthfulness, I would say there. Having Marzo, Matarasu, and the right to Ace. But yeah, we can talk about all of this later, because I've just heard that we are jumping into the game. Let's go.
Yeah, finally. It's going to be a long pause, and sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, but the match is now finally going to be underway with both of these teams very much gunning for this A side. Early control to be established, but it seems still the members of Grayfox, they're reading a C side hit, and they left the Sova by himself to defend that A side. Probably getting a little bit of early information, and he's immediately going to book it. He doesn't want to stay on this A side whatsoever.
Yep, absolutely. First initial contact, they do break down recon, but all 5 players here. ASDF does spot out quite a bit of a crowd. Oh, that's a good shock dart. That's actually going to take down Silo, but DC Rules comes in at the right time to take him out. A good trade-off there for the damage given, to be honest. And they take the site for themselves, and there is the plan going down. Pretty easy A take, just a little bit of damage to the side, but they're going to keep all 5 members alive for this retake.
I'm very much surprised that ASDF chose to stay in that angle instead of just trying to run away and survive. But this retake's going to be a pretty tough one. Bad Love already dashed in. Good for the first initial frag, but gets immediately traded. Bad Love with a double. They're looking for more, but the bodies just keep piling up inside of the site. The trades were immaculate, and the entirety of the push just fell through. What happened there on the retake? They just rushed it.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure they had any information at all about where these players could be. I think they just went on the basis of having a little bit of default checks. Of course, the Jet dashed in, but it was not the way it was supposed to be. DC Rules, I believe, kept his team alive for quite some time over there, finding 2 of his own. And in the end, it was, of course, Shivy and Hoax who stayed alive to clutch out that round, but it was Shivy, of course, who got the final kill. Grayfox, unfortunate start, but look at this. They're pushing it towards C-Long, and it's expected from Shivy. A great first kill. Good read here, expecting that C-Long push to come in. They were far away from that stun hotline as well. Just like that, they should be, I believe, going towards the A side because the spike yet hasn't traveled to the direction of the first pick. They know that the C side is going to be a little bit of a horde of members. So slowly, they're actually exploring B. You can see Sai right outside of B. He's going to drone in, clear out every single part of that site he can. It's just one turret between him and that site. Does he want to maybe poke it? I think he might want to destroy it and get away. Yeah, no, he does. He does destroy it, gets away, and they're going back towards C after a little bit of a halt.
Yeah, that's perfect. They're showing a lot of respect as well to the members of Grayfox, which is a good thing. Tourist, he wanted to get a timing here. Possibly could have run away with a kill, but Holtz is not going to let him reach, holding down the line. Swinging from the side, needs to worry about the back. Here's TF, good for 1 kill over towards the face of JN, but that's just 1 casualty. Many more is just going to pile up in towards the side. Nothing much that they can do. As DC Rules, good for the double kill, and gets 1 step closer to that Blade Storm. Grayfox, they did lose out on the round, but maybe just a little bit of a reconciliation price. 1 kill. I think this work.
I mean, I guess it's the least that they could find, but unfortunately, they just can do a lot of economical damage to BL. And now they're heading on to what seems a little bit of an A execute. Of course, they want to take their short-range fights with the most people having their Spectres. And DC Rules does have the Vandal, so he's going to try and be the spearhead once again. He does have ASDF on the other side, but it seems like there's going to be an A short stun coming in. He does get caught onto it, but the Jet doesn't follow up. That's kind of surprising that Badlove didn't actually go for this fight here. He still wins it, though. His patience does reward him. But it is still a full-fledged A attack. A 3-man stack. Is it going to be enough to stop this, though?
Seems like the members of Lipa still want to go in for this. They're not going to give up the control over towards C-Long, though. This is going to be a rotation coming in from all of the attackers. They do have the Vandal in hand regardless, so there's an opportunity for them to try and maybe find a pick and work something out. But looking at the timing here, you can see that the members of Grayfox, they are expecting a re-hit towards his A side, and Shivy's here to try and sell this fake. C side could be ripe for the picking, but look at the amount of information the members of Grayfox are gaining. The Omen's all the way towards C-Long Cubby. You can easily hear the sounds over toward mids as well.
Yep, and because they've got this Omen set up here, they can afford to maybe let him be a little bit of a menace on the rotation. They're hoping that maybe they can give a little bit of a trigger. Yeah, there it is. The alarm bot has been triggered, and instantly you can see that the Jet from the defense is slowly thinking about rotating away. They're not yet confirmed whether there's going to be a hit. There's just lingering around for a second more. It is actually going to come towards A. It's a good read here. They're not giving up on this A site because they realize that the Killjoy is told, guys, they've not pushed into C. They've just taken a little bit of alarm bot control. That's it. And here we go. A flash coming in. The time, though, aggressive, really low here.
Perfect read. Like, there's no way they can win this. The members of Grayfox, they just read them like an open book. They understood that, hey, there's no way they're going to rotate away from us, right? And even if they do rotate away, we still have the Killjoy very much present over towards the other side of the map. The alarm bot is up. The Killjoy turret is also present. And we don't need to rotate. They can hold down the side for as long as you want.
Did you see that? That kill that he got was only because he saw the yellow flash of the breach pop in, and then it just showed on his screen like a lightning bulb. And that's exactly why he was able to get that kill, because he was completely blinded otherwise. That's an interesting dynamic I've never seen before in Valorant.
It happens early, but then again, when you have players of this caliber, are you really surprised? They know what they really need to do.
It's not about that. It's the fact that when you're blinded by the Omen flash, you can still see somebody else being blinded by the breach flash.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because he was completely blinded right there in that corner, right? And he could only get that kill because the Jet was blinded by the breach flash of his teammate.
We gotta try.
It was
We gotta test
it
this
was
out
so
later.
weird. Yeah, I've never seen that
This is
before.
this has to get tested out later. Maybe there's gonna be a strat line for this,
Yo,
and who knows? Maybe
I'm,
Grayfox
you know
know
what?
this.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. As far as I know, Paper X have probably already tried this, and they're gonna do it next season, man.
There's a good chance, especially with Moniat now on their side.
Of
A
course,
lot of
that is
wacky
good.
strategies are gonna be coming in from their end.
True, true, absolutely. But for now, wacky strategies didn't really come out properly from the side of BL because that fake wasn't as well sold as we would have hoped to have been because they just went and triggered that alarm button and just came back. There was no follow-up utility to kind of sell that. You could see that, Grayfox weren't at all, not at all sold. They had everything under control. They knew that, Ion Q was not at all given any sort of trouble towards that C site, and that's exactly why he told, you know what, Bad Love, you stick at that site, don't move at all. They are coming back to you, and that's exactly what happened.
Seems like the pause is gonna take a little while.
Yeah, I'm probably it. As far as I think I am already. But Grayfox, of course, they did win their first buy round. They need to win this one to settle into this game a little better. The kill. There is one thing though. There's no. I mean, he's not popped it on just yet because they're just jumping around. But I hope that Ion Q does drop in a little bit of utility towards that C entrance because last time it was the B turret and the alarm bot on Garage. He just had one nano swarm, I believe, towards the opening mouth of C. Nothing else. It's gonna be difficult to hold them out if they just rush in.
Oh, I do think that the players are giving the ready call here, so we should be jumping in soon enough. As soon as both teams are gonna be giving that. But for now, there's not really much that we can do other than just wait and see. So, Universe, how's your day been going?
Yeah, it's been all right. It's exactly what we see on screen right now. I felt like a stabbing pain in my chest. Yeah,
Don't turn into
that's it.
assassin.
That's exact. Okay, that's quite a hit, unnecessary hit, but I will enjoy it. Yes, of course. Panzer, I think he's just doing aim training with the knife.
What an interesting tactic. Hey,
Yep.
but this guy is absolutely cracked out of his mind, so maybe it's gonna work out for them. You never really know.
You really? Yeah, knife aim training. That's exactly what we need in Valorant now.
Hey, with Valorant
Okay.
Mobile just being a little bit further away, there is a chance. And Panzer,
Knife aim training? I mean, okay, sure, man.
come on, it's mobile.
Okay, maybe you give it a chance. But we have to see how. I mean, I'm curious. Are they going to release all of the agents that we have right now on the PC version together, or is it going to be, different agents? I'm actually really. What do you think?
I'm thinking they're gonna release everything. There's a
Together,
high
right?
chance. Yeah, plus they're adding an MVP, like an MVP thing with it. Plus, they're also
Mm-hmm.
adding a replay system that we still haven't gotten.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sad. So, I'm pretty sure they're gonna release all of the agents. I don't see a reason why they want to slow things down.
I remember the patch notes, I believe in 2021, where Riot said we're developing a replay system, and it's going to be coming soon, and we're just waiting for that coming soon. Still, I do hope it comes out really quickly though, because montages are going to become quite a thing then, more so than they are
Sure.
right now.
Oh, seems like we got the confirmation that we are going to be going live again, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing to really worry about here. Technical difficulties have been fixed up, and hopefully the stream's going to be feeling a little bit better as well overall. The teams, they're going to get prepped up and ready, but then again, Universe, I think this is going to be a slight bit of a momentum break for the side of Grayfox, even though they did win out on that last round. Hopefully the rust hasn't settled in, and they're still warmed up to
Yep.
take another fight.
Yep, but it looks like there is a bit of an aggression from the defense itself, from the A-long side. You can see that
They know.
Yeah, they know. They probably do. They're trying to get a little bit of aggression and information with the same uh, press, but it's all going to be towards C. Hoax has been spotted. A good jump spot there from IonQ, but here comes the stun. DC Rolls follows in, but he's got a judge in his face, and never mind, it's going to be IonQ who takes him out. Jin finds a trade, though, but IonQ still standing strong at the back of the site. He's got a flash to help him out as well. One after the other, he just keeps spraying people down, and he's got 4 on for the ace. What a hold from IonQ. It doesn't even seem like he needs utility. And look at that. Such a great time to trigger that nanoswarm. He realized that this could be a garage move in. And now he's chucked downside to less than, I believe, 60 HP.
This is just going to get worse and worse over time, but I think IonQ, he is a little bit exposed here if he's not careful. The turret's going to catch him, and IonQ, he's hungry for this ace. He's probably going to get this one too. Sai waiting into his crosshair. Swing up from the side. Give it a big swing. Come on. He's not gonna risk it to Biscuit. He wants this kill. He's not gonna be able to get bad love. He shuts him down. The ace doesn't happen, but still, regardless, the members of Grayfox do get another round under the bag. And Ion, man, just look at this guy bobbing and weaving on the back end of the side. He does not know any fear, and he gets the 4K for his team to close things out beautifully.
Great job from him. I really thought the utility might be a problem towards that C main side, but he was actually waiting for them to jump in. He wanted Panzer to try and do a little bit of a distraction, maneuver with his judge. He did damage down DC Rolls down to 16, and that's when he got the kill. But hey, what they've got, they will be taking forward, and now DC Rolls heading into the B side, and he's actually been damaged up pretty much. Smart. Yeah, they were ready for it. They knew what's happening. Great flash, and Trist! He somehow still survived that, but he will be taken out. He will not be allowed to push any further. ASDF gets 2! That's absolutely ridiculous. He's criminal to be able to get away with that. And the entire side of Badua Lipa has now been thrown into a bit of a mix. They don't know what's happening. Hoax might be able to fetch.
No, Hoax!
Come on. That is quite disheartening. And now Shivy, he's left with 20 HP. What can he expect to do here? JN, though, will be able to do something. Gets the 1. Trist will be taken out. Plant secured. That's a little bit of extra cash in the bank. But this is going to be quite a difficult, round for them to win. Shivy holding a pretty niche angle there. If he swings an inch, he's probably going to lose his life there. Because Ion, he expects him. He knows there's somebody here.
That's just the game sense working out for you. Yup, that turret's gonna be the end of you. That turret alone should be the one thing that gets you the kill, but Cheyenne still holding down the line. They're keeping things competitive. Shimmy, no! That's gonna hurt. Panzer with the turnaround. 90-degree flick to send them down to the grave. 3-2 as Grayfox maybe cutting it a little bit close there, but that's okay. You still have more than enough money in the bank because of the win streak bonus that you have under the bag. But for BL, I think this was a very successful week around overall. 2 guns and a spike plant. They got more than they asked for here.
Absolutely agreed. Now they've got 2 big ultimates to work with as well. You can see that Hoax has charged up his Rolling Thunder, and they've also got the lockdown on, JN. So he's going to be really happy to use that. But I believe the A side where they're actually going to be using these 2 ultimates is now being challenged thanks to Bad Love, who's going towards short. He's got a Breach Stun coming to help him out. Is it going to be enough, though? He's got 2 different angles to worry about, but it takes him a little bit of a passive approach, but a great shot onto JN. Gets away, needs to find a little bit of safety here. He's done his job. The kill their lockdown's gone, which means now they can play on the site a little bit more freely. They've given a little bit of fear here, but Battle's looking for more. He will be taken out. Gets punished for his overambition.
Yeah, they're just gonna fall away. Sorry, okay, DC rules. He was trying to bite him a bit more than he could chew here. And now it's all up to Trist. The timing is not there, and Sai catches him with his pants down. Good for the first couple of kills, and now they have the side under control. And Sai, Soma made too hard. Even through a smoke, there's absolutely nothing that you can do to try and stop this man. A 1 versus 2 for Panzer. Smoke coming back in 9 seconds. Has a paranoia to maybe play around with here, but he's not going to risk it. He wants that first line of contact and maybe an open kill. He's playing on his aim, but is it really the right call? We're going to find out soon enough.
Oh, so
God, love that.
Panzer, he probably knows where the last player is as well. He teleports on top of the box to get a little bit of an overview, but he doesn't know exactly. Panzer, he's got the read, but does he know the angle? Shivy is so smart, and he does not find it. Panzer, what a clutch from him. more than enough time for the defuse as well. Grayfox need to give him a bit of a credit due because he has taken this round into his own hands. What an amazing play. I really thought he's actually teleporting on the other side of that smoke, but the fake was brilliant. He baited out that push, which shouldn't have come in. Sai should have tucked himself in that under heaven spot.
I think he just wanted to isolate maybe a 1v1 duel against him, but good God, like who would even expect this? There's no way.
I mean, the isolation kind of came from Panzer because of that smoke, right?
Yeah.
He made it easier for himself.
It was such a beautiful smoke too.
Yeah, Sai felt for the trap. He just kind of walked into the trap and gave away his life, and that's now cost his team a round. 4-2. They've still got the lockdown available. The blades have been, by the way, equipped for the moment. Decent rolls. He's blinded, and he will be spammed down to death as well. What is happening? This is kind of turning to a bit of a one-sided affair here, Grayson.
Doesn't look that good for them, and yeah, they're using the Killjoy lockdown to try and take over a side, but you lost out on a very important player on your end. Now you no longer have that Jet to take those risky duels and those risky fights, but still, regardless, it's gonna be Sai with the possibility of a kill from that Hunter's Fury. Doesn't really get the catch that he would want it here, so still, they are gonna be the ones to hold down the line. It's going to be the Blaze Storm coming in from the defenders as well. JN in a prime spot to maybe hold for something even bigger here. JN, he needs a kill. He's going to be good for the first, but he's not going to be good for the second. Sai on the back end. Regardless, he does get the trade-offs. And it's a 3v2 on this retake. Tough spots to be in, but still the bodies are going to pile up inside of the side. And Hulks with the double and Shibi with the last. 4-3 as BL. They hold down the line inside of the side. They did not give it up, even with the man advantage that the members of Grayfox had.
Yeah, they went for the fight here, and I was really impressed by JN taking a little bit of an aggressive approach. Of course, with him being kind of the post-plant person for his team there, going a little aggressive was risky, but it did pay off in the end, of course, as BL will be moving further now to find themselves a third round. This half could have actually gotten away from them, but as I say, the Caster's Curse strikes, and Grayfox goes around. They do have now another ultimate on their cards, the lockdown available for the retake, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to try and pressurize that lockdown to come in. They're heading in towards the right direction that IonQ usually sits, and they maybe expect that he will be forced to use it, but there goes DC. He's going to be blinded. No, he doesn't check the corner. It does not get checked again. IonQ standing strong. He's absolutely tearing this opposition apart. He finds the fourth as well.
Not again.
Oh my God. BL, what's happening? They take one round so well, and then the next one just turns out to be a massacre.
They're trying to rush things a little bit too much. I don't understand what the game plan coming in from BL is, but I understand you want to go towards the seaside, you want to take full control, but against Ion, it's just not working. This guy is embodying what a Sentinel is, an iron wall, and the members of BL, instead of trying to melt it through, maybe find a couple of cracks, they're trying to brute force their way in, and they're banging their head against it over and over again, and it's just not working. Ayan, he has full control, and he's looking for more. And look at the level of control now we see towards the side of A main. It's fully taken over, and here comes the rush. Here comes the play. It's Bad Love. Missed out on a couple of key shots. Their bodies are gonna drop, and that's ASDF gone.
Oh, there he's still pushing. He's still pushing. He just taken down JN.
Why?
Finds the better of him. Yeah, it's a little bit misjudged there from Bad Love. He could have gone with the support. ASDF was a little bit late, but of course he was walking. He didn't want to give away any crazy sound cues. But now there's a weapon to be retrieved for JN if he walks in a little bit further, but he knows that there is going to be a Grayfox player here. Trist, he's hoping that maybe a sound cue comes in and he can help ASDF take a fight towards A short, but it's not going to be the case. They're just waiting. JN's patience might just pay off because now he's going to be able to think that he can take that weapon, but his teammates are causing a lot of commotion towards A long, and ASDF's run away from it. This is big, and the timing turns on his head. ASDF turns around at the right time, and JN loses his life. Now there's a big flank. They're sandwiching these players, but it's still a 3v4. The Lipas have got a man advantage. Can they utilize it to the best of their abilities?
Side is now theirs to play around with, though, at the bare minimum, but they're being pincered from multiple different sidelines. It all comes down to the short push. Shibi, you need to win this fight, and he misses out on it. And that's going to be a huge hit. Look at Hulks' HP. Hulks is down to 5. This is very much probable for the defenders to win. And look at where the lockdown was placed as well. It's close to impossible, but still they regardlessly get this round.
Wow.
What happened here, Universe?
Sai took the fight all by himself, and he won both of them, as far as I could see. Because see, you can see there, he took out ASDF. He came on the longer
flankers.
Yeah, he flanked flankers. Absolutely. He came in from long, he walked, he took his time. He knew that his patience is going to pay off, because even if he got detained, I'm pretty sure they were not going to check, behind them. So he actually played it pretty smart, and that's allowed them to come up with a fourth. And just like that, Grayfox kind of slipping up on the matter here. Again, they're trying to take that aggressive A control, but those smokes don't really matter for the moment, because there's no consequence at the back of it. Panzer, he does have one more smoke remaining, and the other one coming back in about 15 seconds. But he does have two members right in front of him. They're going to run into this C site. And there comes a good aftershock. Does he want to teleport away? Oh, he got confused. Misjudged his own decision. And DC Rules will run in. He's got to kill a Joy, who he will take down finally. And he's going to go ahead with the knife. No, DC Rules. Why are you out with your knife at that kind of situation?
Oh, Triss got a double?
Man, that is so unfortunate. Why was DC Rules holding out his knife there?
That's the bane of every experienced player. It's gonna be a tough one, and here comes the Hunter's Fury, but still the dodges are present. Still very much alive here. They're still gonna be able to hold down the line for a little while longer. Triss down, but not out just yet. It's Grayfox. They need to try and slowly lurk their way up in towards the seaside. They do have the utility to make this one happen though. Triss with double flashes. They have control of Garage now, but the members of BL are all the way back towards C. And look at Sai. Oh no, wait, look at Hoax. He's making a run around all the way through Garage. This is a double-sided pincer, and I don't think they're ready for it.
Yeah, they might not be declaring their corners, but there is one towards C Long. Now they're gonna be
keeping late.
effort, and just when he is, Hoax comes at the right time, and he's just causing chaos in every single direction. He's going up from CT, and he's gonna cause a lot of more trouble because JN is just gonna be distracting this ASDF. And with that, Hoax with a 4, he saves Badua Lipa in this round. After the 2 kills that Triss got, it should have been a round for Grayfox, I thought. But Hoax turns it around thanks to his slight bit of lurk and smartness of staying alive until the last moment. And that has now thrown Grayfox into an eco.
There's a reason why Hoax is regarded to be an extremely phenomenal player, and this is one of those. His game sense is on point. He knows exactly when to peak, and that timing was so crucial as well. You can see that Triss turned in his direction at the very last second. Imagine if Triss got that timing on him and he caught him trying to lurk up into Garage. That was a free kill for Triss. But Hoax, understanding that, hey, JN still didn't give me the call out, I'm gonna wait a little bit, then push up. It was absolutely gorgeous overall, and now it's another seaside rush, but look at where INQ is. He has a shorty in hand, and this could just cause some problems for the attack.
Oh, JN finds the first good kill. He's still worried about that smoke, though. And he does have the spike in his hand, so he needs a little bit of cover. Waits for the smoke to go away. Then he goes for the plant. The ASDF gets it straight back. He needs a little bit more, and he's getting more done. He's looking for the third, but he couldn't stand up to his own potential. His team kind of needed to help him out there. Maybe get another kill alongside him. But they were just in such bad positions. Ion Q did have the shorty. Unfortunately, was not ready for that fight. ASDF does trade him out, but only the 2 kills from that round. Grayfox, the lead that they had built up here, has slowly gone away from them, and it's actually turned to the other direction as Badua Lipa will find their lead, and they will be up 6-5. If not, going into the second half, we will be seeing this at least to a 6-6 half. Was this something that you expected, Aggressive?
Not at all, especially like this. It feels as though Grayfox, they're a little bit too static. You can feel it, right? They're not really adapting their plays to what the members of BL are trying to do. They're trying to stick to what they know best, and it's just not working. They're trying to read their oppositions without trying to improvise their strategies over time, and that's what's really hurting them the most. BL, though, on the other hand, yeah, of course, they have a plan in mind as they're running in towards the site, but it changes on a whim. 1 second, they're rushing towards C, and they're trying to take over C really quickly. Then they see the smoke in the front of the side. Like, I'm just going to talk about this last round. They saw the smoke in the front of the site and they instantly knew that, okay, we're not going to take backside control. DC Rules didn't even try to dash up on towards top of the box. You can see it, right?
Exactly.
He just stayed and he waited in the center of the site, being like, okay, we don't want the back of the site. We're just going to hold because I know that the members of Grayfox are going to try to push into us. Your plan normally will hold down the line, and the firing squad just went ham. And Grayfox, they didn't even know what hit them. They were expecting them to rush into the back end of the site to take full control, and none of that happened.
Right here.
Exactly. They kind of, waited for the fight to come to them, and it was a good decision, of course, in the end. And now they're heading back towards C again. Sai spots one, but he too has been on here. Oh, he wants the orb. He gets it, and there's a big ultimate on their hands as well. And they've actually got two, forgive me. Yeah, they've got actually third one. It's kind of an expensive recon at most, or maybe a rotational quality that they could use. Forgive me, I'm an Omen player. I love the Omen, but it is what it is. Now they're heading back towards C. There comes a lockdown towards Garage. A good, an extremely good but risky position to place it. The first kill, ASD actually dodges that ultimate. He's been detected and he should be tagged down. Yeah, never mind, it's not gonna happen. Now they're running in, but ASD still standing strong, still clicking heads. He only finds the two though. But there's the Panzer. He's sitting inside. How has he survived for this long? 38.
Oh, they
down to a 4v1, and the blind will be enough.
He used Into the Shadows.
Oh, smart. Never mind. Forgive me for calling it an expensive recon, man. It's the most important ult.
He just proved you wrong in just a matter of seconds. And look at this guy. He just popped out of absolutely nowhere. Poor old Jen didn't even know what hit him there.
Yeah, it was crazy. Really well done there. Good presence of mind from Panzer, but Grayfox, they honestly have gotten back into this game after what was quite a bit of a mess caused by themselves. They were 5-2 up at a point, I believe, 4-2 up, and they could have probably taken this half for themselves, but it has ended back to ground zero as we start again with a fresh new half. This is now just a glorified second half that is one-sided Valorant. Let's see how they respond to this. A good bit of information gained. They know that there's probably going to be one towards the right side of that A-long. Oh, that's a good recon. ASDF being a little bit spammed here, but Sai covers up for his teammate. Badloves is going to lose his life, and just like that, they need to get back instantly. Yeah, Sai's gone down once again, down to what he was in the first pistol, actually. Less than 20 HP, and it's again a 5v4.
Spike dropped.
Tough spot to be in. But overall, I would say the members of BL, they're still the ones on the advantage, even with the low HP in the hands of Sai. But overall, it's all about the information now. The members of BL, they can just chill inside of the side and they can play reactively. They have the man advantage. But on the other side, with the limited utility that Grayfox have in store, Trist is pretty much the only one they have to set themselves up. And Ion walking up on the side, and oh, he's gonna expect it, Sai. A one and done angle really is gonna cost him here. And the A side right for the picking for them. So much utility in hand as well as DC Rules. He needs to come in big here. He's gonna be able to find the first, and Hoax, the timing is clear. Hoax is gonna be able to walk away with murder.
Oh, he most certainly does. Hoax. Oh, okay,
no.
Trist. A jumping triple burst. He finds it. Shivy is going to go down as well. And now it's a 1v1. JN's going to wait for the plan to come out. He thought it's probably going to be a bluff. But no, that smoke has been popped. It has a slight bit of a gap in it. But JN, does he expect it to come on the other side? Panzer's playing a bit of a passive angle. He doesn't want to give away anything at this point. He spots out JN, gets a headshot down as well. It's going to be difficult to turn on one side, JN on the other. JN's been pretty good so far, but he needs to win this duel, and he will not be doing so. Panzer with a clutch once again. This man strikes blood as he finds the 7th for his team.
Plays it so beautifully too. These clutches look absolutely pristine from this man. The way he plays these 1v1 duels, the way he uses his smokes to give himself an advantage, it's something that a lot of Omen players don't do that often. And it's tough for them too, but when he is in these 1v1s, especially on an Omen, he knows how to work the map and work the smokes beautifully. Grayfox, they have an asset under their line, and hopefully he's going to be the one to carry them forward here to a possible 8-6 lead, because they need this, especially with a proper hold as DC Rules. I think he's trying to play a little bit too close with that Sheriff. If he gets caught out in the open here, that's a death waiting to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. He needs to be. Oh, did he
Okay.
just shoot at his own teammate?
You got
He
scared.
just shot. Yeah, he just shot at his own teammate. Okay, or maybe he was expecting somebody on the other side of the wall, but which Sai couldn't see. But okay, whatever. A bit of a interesting situation here. They're playing a little bit of a standstill. They're hoping that Badua Lipa do pushes, and now DC rules. He's got a little bit of a force coming in front of him, and so does Sai. Rules has not seen anything. He's not seen anything, and Sai's gonna lose his life because of that. And he wasn't ready for that fight. Bad Love gonna dash into the site as he will be taking the first fight. DC rules misses. No, he actually gets the first. Both ults in and find one each before falling down. And they've actually made this round kind of economically viable. As little Lipa now, both the players coming on the flank. Shivy's given up quite a bit of his sound cue, so that maybe JN could do a bit of damage, but he's being watched, of course. And he will probably fall to ASDF here, who's got, of course, the better weapon. But we know the classic... got a little scary for a second there, but ASDF holds down the fort towards A short. And the last man standing now, Shivy, maybe going to try and follow up on that burst with one of his own. Almost finds the kill. 8 and 6, Grayfox gonna be winning that round. It was kind of iffy, but they did manage to win it.
Yeah. Overall, though, I would have to say a really good try coming in from the members of BL, but it just wasn't really enough. But overall, I would say Hakuna Matata. It's okay. For them, it was a really rough round to try and win out, but here, I think they have much more of an opportunity. I'm expecting the members of BL to go for a heavy control towards B long or maybe towards A, but not really opting to go for either. They're playing it slow, but on the other side, the members of Grayfox, they're just W-keying their way in towards Garage. They want this early fight, and it could be risky. Shivy does get spotted, and JN's position is also known, but they're not going to try to take this duel. They just wanted to scare them over towards the side of Garage to maybe call up a bit of rotations, but DC rules, he's in a prime spot to maybe walk away with the kill here. But he needs to find the timing, he needs to hit the shot. He doesn't get it, he's going to double dip, not against the flash. He dodges it out. And the members of Grayfox, they're not giving him much. But the ACF with a shot is just way better.
My word, that was amazing. JN does take out Bad Love, who, by the way, was set up towards Garage to hold on that fort. But there is a weapon that is going to be retrieved from thanks to DC Rules' death. And they're going to let their Sova do a bit of work on the other side. ASDF maybe going on a little bit of exploration on his own, while they wait outside C and hope that maybe the Sova can cause a little bit of a fake. Maybe a smoke to follow it up on Panzer as well, if at all it does go for it. Sai actually finds ASDF, and now they're heading in towards C, and they've been spotted by JN as well. Can this Killjoy do as best as we saw the previous one hold on the C side? We'll find out in just about a second.
I think BL just have much more of an opportunity here, especially with JN being in such a good position. JN, good for the double kill. He gets it all under control, but Trist still causing a bit of trouble on the side. Regardless, deals a good chunk of damage. The members of Grayfox, they were able to take down at the bare minimum of 3 guns. They did not really get the plan down, but I think they're still going to be fine economically overall. So the members of BL, they did win out on the round, but it's going to be quite expensive for them if they don't win this particular round out to try and stabilize themselves.
Absolutely. Pretty expensive round. The force of reinvestment, as you can see, has gotten DC down to a Guardian and half armor. So it is, of course, a bit of a expensive round for them that just went by, but they're still going to keep themselves in line. On the other side of the map, there is an A execute looking to happen with all 5 players, as they're slowly getting control. They're not too keen on rushing here. They just want a bit of initial contact, it seems. They're going to set up Ion Q towards short, maybe to get a little bit of that pick, because he's been really good. He has turned basically into a pseudo second duelist here, but they've already lost a player. They've lost their Jet. Bad Love has exited from this round, and they're instantly actually getting away from here.
I'm not even going to try to risk this play, but I do think this is a re-hit, right? Coming in from Grayfox. It would be very uncharacteristic of them to try and brute force this one through. It's going to be DC rules, maybe looking for a kill here. Doesn't really get a catch for himself at all. And now he's stuck in towards the seaside. Full garage control already established by the members of Grayfox, but
30 seconds left.
I don't think this is a feasible fight. They cannot try to go in for a run onto C, but he's been held down by Hoax. He can easily go for a flash and maybe get a kill here. They are taking a very risky venture here, Universe. It could fall flat on their face if they're not careful.
Yep, they get the B plan, but Hoax is still alive. He's got a flash as well. He
he
gets a kill as well.
kill.
Trist not expecting that backside hold, but there comes the trades from both sides. They're losing players one after the other, but it's still Badua Lipa in the lead of men. They've got a 3 versus 1 ahead of them. They should be in the better position to win this round, unless we see a moment of magic from Ion Q. Oh, he spotted one. He's got a bit of a timing to help him out here. Does he get this kill? Right, so first, goes for the second.
No!
Gets it as well. Thanks to the classic, gets have time to run away as well. He's gonna play a little bit close. Almost tries to get away, but the half defuse was still there. So even if this had gone down to the last couple of seconds, Sai would have still had a chance to clutch this one out. But my word, what a try from Ion Q. Came a little too close for comfort there for BL.
Yep. BL just nearly got shut down here in more ways than one. Ion, he can pull off miracles out of absolutely everywhere, but seems like a pause will be taken by the members of Grayfox to just try and calm the team down a little bit overall. And I think one of the biggest things that Godspeed really needs to put into their heads currently is they're trying to fake a little bit too much. You could see, right, that they took control over Garage, and immediately we could tell as casters that that was a very risky venture for them because all of them walked into Garage, and you could feel they didn't have a game plan. What are they going to do with a 3-man Garage push? If they run into C, they're going to get funneled in and almost immediately shut down by everyone holding towards the seaside. It's close to impossible to try and break in through there. If they push into window, they can't really do anything there either because it's a single sightline. Exactly. Their best bet would have been to try to take that A lone control and brute force their way in through A. Or if they were gonna go B, then completely clear out the side, wait for the smokes, and then opt to take control of the side first and then plan. They didn't really have a proper game plan on what to really do in that last round, and that's why they failed. And hopefully, Godspeed gave them a little bit of direction and calmed them down here. It's 8-8. They still have an opportunity to go in for a lead, but they need to do this decisively.
Absolutely, I agree. And they're going in towards Garage again. They're going to try and set up Bad Love. Again, caught in the middle of a jumping movement. A little too much for their own good. But JN, okay, interesting move. They're taking Garage window and they're heading towards C, where they've got Hoax waiting for them. He does get taken down after 1 kill of his own. Trist finds JN, who tried to maybe backstab them. A really interesting approach here from the attack, but they find it for their advantage. Although 2 of their players are real darn low. There comes an ultimate, and one of it's already taken out. He tagged the second as well. As what a hold from Badua Lipa. They did lose 2 players. They were kind of startled, I believe, by this movement, but
yeah, that's true.
Because
Who would have ever expected?
Was yeah, I don't even know what the orchestration here was. Like, you know, of course you go in towards Garage window, you find him, but you've got so many different angles to worry about if you take that avenue. They can just spam you through the smoke from C, C main. Forgive me, not C main, from CD spawn, and from the entrance towards C. They can spam you from B. They were kind of in the middle of. Honestly, if it was a little bit of a more well cohesive team, they wouldn't have even been allowed to get in so far into the B site.
Look at the amount of control they got on this round though. BL, they're already walked into Garage and 3 members. Oh, this is bad. They even have the breach present there with the flashes up and ready. They can take full control and they can be such a nuisance. But the Rolling Thunder is gonna put a damper on those plans. Hold down the line and try to run away as quickly as possible. The defenders are gonna get out of this alive. No way. Universe, they got out of this alive?
So good. Yeah, because Panzer's smoke came in at the right time. Look at where he put that smoke. He just confused them so well. He put down a smoke so far ahead that by the time they could actually captivate on that, Rolling Thunder, they were just going to be confused by the time they reached any of these players. And the fact that all of them survived without a single scratch is insanely thankful to the fact that smoke came in. Sai, hoping for a bit of a, scan and spray here. Does not get a scan, but will spread on anyway. Chibi puts down 1. Hoax gets another, and now Sai's going to jump down, and he gets 2.
Perfect.
Absolutely well done here as BL on the back of that lockdown distraction caused a little bit of a panic mode to settle in, and Side jumps down at the right time to cut through that panic and find the victory for their team. Grayfox have just been outplayed here in two different directions with two different ultimates.
Right here.
I really want to ask a particular question towards the members of BL. I'm pretty sure you can answer this as well. BL, did they do that mid push understanding that there was a possibility of a breach ultimate coming through and they wanted to bait it out? If they did think that through to that degree, that game sense alone deserves a victory here for this particular map. Like, good God, they baited out that breach ultimate at the perfect time. If that breach ultimate headed towards A, that would have been big. But here in this particular round, I think it's going to be even bigger. Look at the control as CC Rules stuck in a pretty bad corner, but the timing is everything. They know everything.
What?
BL.
Okay, Grayfox. I'm not quite sure why they tried this moment.
Call?
By the way, this time without a smoke. DC Rules was so quick to dodge that flash as if it was nothing. He was ready for it all. I'm not quite sure what the movement of that call was, but there was no smoke to cover it up from the attack. Panzer did not throw it down like he did the last time. At least thanks to that smoke, they could get into the site. This time, nothing of that sort, and they just lost their lives by fighting in two different directions. They got pincered from behind and from the front. DC Rules took out two, JN came from behind, and the only frag that they got was practically inconsequential.
It's just insanity overall here, man. The way that Grayfox are just walking into these corridors, it's what's really surprising me. I understand you want to take very slow, methodical control and just maybe cut off some information, but that's not how it's going to work. You know that BL have seen this strategy before. You want to walk up into Garage, maybe catch a free kill by the players playing post-ended on Garage, but it's not going to work anymore. You already showcased your strat book previously, and that just didn't work. And there was no one to really even draw the attention towards mid or maybe A lobby that could have been the difference maker for this particular strategy. All of the strats coming in from the members of Grayfox just look so half-baked. They have good plans, Universe, but they're not thought through enough.
Exactly. They're not fully, cooked up, as you could say. Look at that C push, though. Again, Badua Lipa taking control yet again. Look at the amount of information they've got. They know this is going to be an A hit, and they're sandwiching them again. This time, JN, though, goes in for a little bit of an aggressive spray. He was over-ambitious, knowing that his team is in the lead, but they will be losing out on that player. Now it is the flank coming in. Sai with a first good kill. There should be a trade-up coming in. Panzer and Trish find one each. Sai, though, will be taken out. Although he's dropped the spike, they have the lockdown in place. So they're going to be attacking this A site because, of course, they would. Hoax, he does have an ultimate. Of course, he's got all of his utility intact. He could go for this clutch. He's even got the money to do it. Oh, Panzer just about gets away from his field of vision. It's now Hoax. He's got multiple angles to worry about. He sees one, does not win that fight. Ion Q will take him down. That flank was kind of a misread. They thought, okay, you know what? Maybe they've got this. There's nobody up close, but Panzer was at the right spot at the right time to, shut down that flank, and Trist came in as well, and they took care of that triple man flank. It was a good call once again. It could have worked, but unfortunately this time, BL just did not read that positioning of the attack right.
Yeah, this time around, the members of Grayfox had a game plan in their heads, and they were able to get that read down as well, because from the last couple of rounds, they could tell that BL, they like to push whenever there's a big ultimate that could be coming into play. And that big ult this time with the Killjoy lockdown, they got the read for it as it DC Rules. He tried to hit the flick, but Bad Love just shuts him down and sends him back down under. If that shot came through from DC Rules, though, that would have been big.
Absolutely.
But now,
that would have been actually
man
a clean
disadvantage.
shot.
Yep.
Cover going out.
Here we are once again towards the A side. This time no flanks, which means there are going to be no information side, though. He's keen on actually getting a little bit of a fight here, but that smoke is not going to give him anything. He gets away, and so has his opponent. But there's one guy still here. Panzer left alone towards a short.
Revealing area.
Recon to clear off long, and maybe Panzer might move on the back of that. Nah, he's actually going to smoke off that C garage and CC. Never mind. He's actually going to be garage window. Okay, they're splitting up this approach. They were actually going to go 4C long. Now they're probably going to split up back towards... No, never mind. You know what? They're going back towards A again. And the defense is still holding down this line. They're not buying it. This is, again, a counter read that's coming pretty great. This is exactly what Grayfox did to Badua Lipa in the previous half.
Yeah, this is just not gonna work out in the same ways that you would have hoped for, as the bodies just keep piling up. As the defense just had no idea what hit them. Fast rush coming in from Grayfox. They found an opening towards that A side, and they are just spearheading their way in over and over again. Just giving a false sense of security to the members of BL and just snatching it away from them in the last couple of moments. Grayfox, they finally found the opening that they needed to try and bring themselves back in towards this game, but overall, Universe, the members of BL, they took a little bit of time to try and figure out exactly what was going on here. And now that they have an understanding of how the A side is going to play through, you can see they already adapted and they are trying to take aggressive control to try and stop them from getting a free push.
There comes the Hunter's Fury. It almost touched Ion Q, but it actually will dodge everybody. It just sets up DC Rules in a bit of an aggressive position, though. But he's alone. There comes the support. Seismid is way towards A short, and they've made sure that this A side is not at all being touched by any means at all. A smoke coming in towards A short to maybe cover out that angle, maybe draw in. Yeah, there it is. Draw that drone. It does come in, and it will clear out quite a bit. Trist has been tag spotted. Badlove's in a good position. He's a good alpha angle. Oh, he could actually find DC Rules, who might be a little itchy for that fight here. Unless he holds his ground and is going to be the good disciplined boy that he's supposed to be and wait for the fight to come to him. But when you've got those Blade Storms in your hand, you usually kind of edge out to peak, don't you?
Yeah. Have to show who has the bigger ego in situations like this, but for JN, it's not about the ego, it's about the hold, and JN recovers from the spray. Could have gone really badly there with INQ getting another frag of his own, but regardless,
30 seconds
they have a hold to play around with, a good chunk of information being gained of exactly where the members of BL are playing. And they're gonna run towards this other side, needs to be the timing, and everything is key for them, and Bad Love gets the catch, and the Paranoia is gonna set everything up for him as Chibi gets completely caught under the wrong hooks. Beautiful tap over on one. He has flashes, he can delay, he can hold down the line for as long as he possibly can for his team to get in towards the side, and it's gonna be Sai holding down the line with Hooks and JN as backup. 10 to 12 as BL, they hold it down so well. An indestructible iron wall. And Grayfox, they just ran into it.
Great stuff here. I thought after Badlove got that first kill, this might just be it. But my god, Hoax, he's been the forefront of this team, as you can look at it through the kill feed as well. 21, 13, and 10. He's been doing the work of the fragger as well as the initiator. He's got a lot to say, it seems, and he said quite a bit. And now in the final round, the match point could be, what could be the final round, forgive me. They've got no ultimates available, the defense, but they've got their aiming stores. How the hell did he get away?
Oh, hell no.
With practically nothing. Hoax will try to take out a little bit of that. So, oh, he gets him! Nobody tells ASDF to get away from that angle. And that aftershock finds him through. Sai goes flying in the air, but he's still alive. He's healthy. He's held, and they've not pushed him. He's recovered his senses, and he's got teammates to support him as well. And just like that, in a couple of seconds, Grayfox will be erased from the map of Haven. What the hell was this round?
I'm just gonna say one particular thing. They went in for the same strat way too many times that they paid the ultimate price for it with their own lives.
Yeah.
When it was the do or die situation, you needed to come up with a plan that would work for you. And the things that did work for them for 2 rounds consecutively just won't work again. Batlove, he missed the shot of his life. Like, how did Sai break a recon ball, threw out his own, and then casually click down, tap Badlove in the head, and just walk away for free?
Got away.
And he nearly got another kill. He got another kill, nearly. and Hulk's got
Yeah.
to catch over onto the Sova. This is why I say that the breach change was actually a buff. You can guarantee yourself a kill on Sovas, on Killjoys who are trying to place down the lockdown even. It's hard to get away from this nowadays if you have the proper timing
Yeah.
for it. And Hulks, he's just so good at reading people. The game sense coming into play, the members of BL just had a deeper understanding of how the map of Haven was going to get played out, and Grayfox, they just stood still. Like, they were not even
Absolutely.
trying to change up what they were doing, and they fell through entirely on that particular map.
They had one round where they actually kind of impressed, where they put up the 10th.
Yep.
I believe they did really well. It did come out of the wire, but their take of the A site was on point. When even though there was a 3-man stack on that A site, they had the pretty pretty good read of having to get that member towards the left hand corner, 2 on the back of site. They had their Jet do the work. Let's have a look at the highlights though as we do talk about it, because Grayfox, as good of a start as they had, they just could not live up to the potential that we'd seen them. They took the lead as well in the second half, and I believe that Grayfox had the better approach in the first half. They had a good comeback that came their way as well, right? They found pretty successful rounds. They were able to, defend really well. Ion Q was absolutely flourishing with that Killjoy. But in that second half, something changed across a couple of rounds. When the side of BL started stringing a couple of them together, Grayfox could be seen, like you mentioned, they kind of almost gave up on strategy and were hoping that their aim pulls them through. They were rushing in blindly almost. They were in informational plays. They were pretty much like, you know what, we'll see what happens as we go along kind of plays. And it came down to the wire as well. Most of their executes came in the last 30 seconds. They were wasting a lot of time trying to understand what's happening, but they never really, punched out information. They never really pulled out any rotations. There was nothing forceful, I would say. There was always that, and this was also repeated, by the way, from BL. Don't take this as a single team mistake. The fact that they were just in the matter of taking out an alarm bot and expecting that opponent team to rotate, that's not how it works.
Yeah, especially against a team that you've been doing that against constantly. The main difference between the Grayfox mistakes and, of course, BL's mistake is BL, they tried to fix their mistake from round to round. They were adapting, they were constantly evolving their strategies. While on the other side, Grayfox just kept on making it over and over and over again. We talk about this quite often, right, Universe, that it's okay to make a mistake in a game of Valorant. It's fine, only if you don't make that same mistake again in the following round. And for Grayfox, it just felt as though they were not doing any of that.
Yep, it is just really unfortunate that Grayfox kind of, slipped into a bit of a spiral downward situation where they kept losing rounds in ways that they shouldn't be. They were having the better team structure. They knew what they were doing better, but BL just had that one little bit extra bit of, I would say, communication. They gapped it better than Grayfox. And see, rounds like these where, you're like, what is happening with these guys, right? Yep. That round was so unfortunate. Again, here they had a good, cover up of the flank. They were able to get the site on point, thanks to the lockdown, of course. But again, this round, the final round that before they won this game, was completely on the basis of just, we're going to run down A. Let's see what happens. Here comes a rolling thunder, though, and Hoax was able to secure it. And in the end, they just found themselves trying to run in. They actually stunned up Psy, but nobody went in on the back of it to actually support him. Nobody, forgive me, kill him. Nobody actually went in on that opportunity, which is kind of surprising to me because they knew that Psy is still on site and he's definitely been affected by that.
Another thing is that they were utilizing their utility a little bit too early. Think about it overall, right, Universe? When do you use utility? When your teammates are close enough to capitalize on top of it. But in certain situations, you could see as the match went on and the members of Grayfox just started losing hope, that they became sloppy with their utility usage. The sharpness that you saw from them previously when they were on their defensive half just did not exist here whatsoever.
True, absolutely. And now that we're heading into bind after this, I think that it is going to be quite the task for Grayfox. Because, of course, I believe Haven was Grayfox's pick and we should be heading now into BL's pick, which is going to be quite the interesting, map, because are the comps going to be remaining the same? Are they going to be mirror? Because I don't know if we're going to see a Euro or we're going to see something new out of these teams. But hey, it's all about the
Deadlock.
wait. We will be back in just a couple of minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Map 2, whether or not Grayfox are going to continue their journey in this tournament, or is this going to be the end for them? We will find out after this short break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are back with the India Predator League powered by Acer 2023. And the first map that has just gone by in front of us has been quite the competitive one, although not in the way that we expected. While BL kept up their end of the bargain by, kind of keeping the consistency almost across the entire game and winning it out, Grayfox kind of fell and tripped by their own feet, to be honest, towards the end of that game and gave away that 13-10 scoreline. Let's have a look at a bit of the statistics, though, as we do understand what just went down with these players, because across both teams, yes, the Breach was quite the impactful player, but Hoax was doing a lot more of the fragging than Trist, even though Trist actually did quite a bit of the work for his team.
Yeah, that's for certain. But overall, they just fell through primarily because I didn't see any form of adaptability coming in from Grayfox. And it's tough to say because when you look at the names on their team and the individual performances that they did have on that particular map, you would have expected a lot more adaptability coming on through the whole team instead of just the individuals. You can see players like Panzer, IonQ, Trist. They played really well because, of course, they're individually really talented, but as a team, they couldn't really gel together whatsoever. And it seems the Godspeed was not able to get them under that same roof just yet for map number 1. But hopefully, as they go into Bind, they have fixed out on a lot of those problems, because don't forget, on Bind, your mistakes will be pretty much pointing out like a sore thumb. One flaw in your game plan, you're instantly gonna get shut down.
True, absolutely. I think that Bind is going to be depending a lot upon what these players, pick for their compositions. And as we look, oh wait, am I seeing a Sage? All right, okay. This is kind of already confusing me. Grayfox are throwing a bit of a spanner in the works here. On the other side, we've got a KO. Yo, what's happening with this,
chamber?
man? I mean, the chamber is kind of expected. We've been seeing that. Recently, of course, the chamber is found a kind of a viable way to play on this map. But the Sage is something that I haven't seen for a long time. And forget it's not even just about the Sage. I have not seen a KO on this map since, I believe, 2020. Forgive me, since he's been released. I think there was a bit of time where the KO was being played on this map, but since we've had Fade, Sky come in, it's just been those two who've been dominating. And of course, I still believe that the KO is one of those agents which can be played on every map, right? He's really good. Yes, he's one of those, great agents, but he's got his better maps, and I would say some maps where he's not as much required. And Bind is one of those for the very fact that I think there are better agents. I think they could have gone for the Fade, or if not, maybe gone for a secondary controller. I'm not quite sure. They did play two controllers, right? I think
I didn't see that. I was just so shocked with the KO and the chamber coming out that I didn't notice it.
Chamber. Yeah, I believe that let's have a look at the game, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hop in. We'll have a further conversation about this. As okay, they've got the chamber as a sentinel.
Not a double controller.
There's no double controller. All right. Okay. So this is slightly concerning for me because I would have loved to see a Viper, because of course she's so viable on this map. What are your thoughts about this, Aggressive? Because I'm genuinely confused.
When I look at Grayfox's entire composition, they're putting so much of an emphasis on the Raze just fracking out. Like, I don't understand. Why pick a Raze with this composition? I understand that, okay, you want to have Raze on this map because she's the best duelist, right? But what does she accomplish with two of these initiators? Absolutely nothing. There's if you picked a Jet instead, I think she would have a lot more synergy with both of them. But a Raze? It's a big question mark. I don't see any form of synergy coming in from the side of Grayfox, while on BL, they do have some forms of synergy, but I think they need to work their way in to get
that. Oh my god.
That hold! Okay.
Okay, almost getting a bit of a blow up from that Boombot. Okay, interesting tactic. They're taking it towards they're taking elbow, and now They have got a bit of a play. Okay, interesting take. They're going for the CT plan, and they know that probably everybody's cleared up. This is completely turned around, by the way. This is usually what you see on the opposite ends, but now the retake is coming from B-Long and from Hookup, and they're jumping straight in. Hoax has found the first, though. ASDF's gone his way. Panzer comes in for the trade. Tris with another. They're going 1-for-1 here. Hoax takes the advantage back in his hands. That's Grayfox keeping it alive, but they're taking one as well. It's gone to a 2v1, and the chamber will go down to Hoax with a 4K.
What just happened in this site? It was just a flurry of colors, nothing else. I just saw a couple of red dots running around, a couple of bodies falling to the ground, and a paint shells just being thrown everywhere.
Hold on,
This is what happens on the map of Bind, honestly.
I'm a little confused as to what Grayfox were determining to do there, because I believe their Brimstone had a Molotov. I'm not quite sure.
And another thing, Universe, they could have just ran towards the A side, right? They had information that all the players were pushed up towards long and 2 players teleported.
I mean, they didn't have total information that all the players were at long. They knew that 2 players were. They didn't know where the final was, I believe. But yeah, they could have. They had 4 players alive towards, you know, forgive me, 5 players alive. They could have actually gone down. But hey, waste not, want not. And what's happened now. They're getting into the B side yet again. Grayfox. They're forced in, by the way. They've gone for this thanks to the plan that they got. And losing out on JN is a big problem here. BL getting pushed up once again. Bad Love, good instinct to just push on the back of it and punish Sai. As now the defense is paying the price for a bit of a thin retake. Divi gets the one, not find the other. There comes the trade though. DC rolls. And Hoax actually are making this work. They're keeping it alive. 2v2. And now it's a 2v1 thanks to Panzer.
Yeah, this is a tough spot, and now Hoax's turn to just maybe run it away. Yeah, that's a Vandal. He needs to save this. Can't risk it anymore with 32 HP. He's going to try to run on away, save this for the next round. This Vandal will really hold them up here in the next couple of rounds, but it does depend on if he survives with it. Hoax, he's kind of close to death, but bad luck with the nade! Imagine if he banked it by accident.
Yeah, it would have been problems. Losing that Vandal on round number 2, forgive me, round number 2 would have been quite a problem, but they save it. And I think they are they forcing into this? We'll find out in just a second. But good take care of the B side again, as we saw. Did not give the defense even a second to breathe. They just ran it straight in their faces. Good force there.
True. Especially on forces like this, you need to take that long control away from the attackers, so at least you can tuck into long, and even if they take away the side, you can go for a double-sided pincer. Strategies are not really working out the way that you would have hoped for, but the members of Grayfox, they're just W-keying their way in towards the side, and it's working out for them. Nades are going to be coming out to try and hold everything down. Looks beautiful for the kill, and it shows up right hand. And pretty sure that's, that's a death Iron Q. And he gets a third! Hoax, wow, what are you doing? Absolutely criminal, and he's probably gonna get his 4th as well, but no, Bad Love's gonna finally shut him down. Timing is key for everything here. They need to hold down the line. Sai doesn't really get the catch for anything here. This DC rules. Okay. He tried for a kill, but wouldn't happen. Grayfox, what was this rush?
It's not even about the rush. I think apart from Hoax, the 3 players who were alive, you know, even forget the Jet. I would say the 2 players who came on the flank, which was JN and Sai, were completely miscoordinated because they could have taken so much advantage of the kind of chaos that Hoax was causing. They came in too late, and when they did come in, JN swung first and Sai came in after him. They took so much time. They could have just swung out together, took a fight, just crouch and spray. That's what they were doing in the first game anyway, crouch and spray. But this time they didn't. JN, a lot of trouble, takes in quite a chunk of damage, actually gets taken down completely. The Seekers are going to allow them to run inside. Sai, gonna be absolutely overpowered. Hoax fights too! What's happening, man?
I think this is just a casual game of Bind. A lot of confusion, a lot of colors, and a lot of noise being made all around. Side control is established, but still it's a 3 versus 3. The KO is still very much alive with the Sky present with both the flashes. Elbow control is key, and the Sky's going to be such a paramount thing for this entire hold. Shibby with the swing out. He does get flashed in, and Bad Love, he's just going to hold. They need to wait. They have the advantage here, 2 versus 3. this retake pretty much as close to impossible and an operator in hand. They need to try and run away and save this off, but they're going for this.
Yeah, they get, of course, the KO knife is going to detain their utilities for a bit.
Use that.
But they're going to have to get away here. Yeah, the op has been picked up, but Trist, he's keen on stopping them. And he might as well. He will get the first. And he's going to try for a second. Doesn't come through. Shibby will not be allowed to get away. Badlove will lose his life, but he will make sure that Shivy loses his along with him. 3-1, Grayfox with a really commanding start to this map of Find. They've taken this game by control. On the other side though, Hoax, he has been the only member of that team who's kind of stepped up because the rest of them are not able to kind of give any sort of value. Again, in this round too, Hoax, the only one who found, by the way, 2 kills with a grenade popping into that B site.
The toughest spot for all of this has to be these fast rushes. I think BL are just not expecting it. JN getting caught off guard, his wall getting broken down instantly. How do you even get a read there? You don't really have anything to try and stop them immediately. Early on, as DC rules, kind of getting caught out in the middle of nowhere. That's just a free kill, and now that's even more control. They're being given the site for free.
Yep, Hoax trying for a bit of a crazy maneuver, but he's gonna hear all of them teleport right in front of his face. As now, they might be choosing to go and teleport it themselves, but Trist is still towards A short. He finds that kill. This ratty man is gonna get one, but he gets punished for his rattiness as one teleport and 1 kill. There it is. Badlove stays for the welcome of his opponents, and he will deliver them onto the next round as Grayfox find their 4th. And this is a pretty good string of rounds that they put together here, Aggressive.
I'm just overall very surprised of what really is going on this particular map. The round starts and it's already bodies just piling up on the floor instantaneously. Give me a read here, Universe, because these rounds are so quick, and I love the fact that Grayfox, they're utilizing the strength of their composition. Just a lot of utility and a lot of flashes, and the way that they use it as well is just perfect. ASDF gaining space, the sky flashes, getting those catches, and then again, another big thing that differentiates both of these compositions has to be the utilization of these early flashes. And finally, we do see the members of BL going in for a little bit of an answer. They want to slow down these rushes to a crawl and force them to play a default. Early smokes is what they needed, and now they have that answer.
Look at the sky though. Look at the amount of control size found. He's gone in from B long and he's called in the rotation. They know this is going to be a hit. There comes the execute though. Battle's going to be running in and he's found 1-2, but he doesn't know where to shoot. He doesn't know where to place that showstopper. Chibi shoots him straight down from the air above. Hoax will get on top of the Panzer. Forgive me, on top of the, I said Panzer because the vehicle is called a Panzer. Forgive me.
Yep.
You know, unfortunately, but here we are. Panzer's still alive, by the way. He doesn't get anything else but the one. Shivy gonna be the hero of that round, as it is gonna be BL finding their first thanks to a bit of confusion caused by his own decision making by Badlove. He saw 2 players. He's like, no, left, right, and then by the time he could even decide, he's lost his life.
And Chibi's going to be really good with his aim too. They're slowly but surely warming up from the side of BL, and that is the most crucial part. They need to get as many rounds as they possibly can under the bag on this early rounds, because don't forget they have a Sage, and that Sage will lose most of her power as soon as that attack side rolls around. 8 rounds is what they want. They can't even lose a single one. Timing for them is key as DC rules, maybe biting a bit more than he can chew, but oh, what a peek! Badlove didn't even know what hit him. A slap to the face and he's down on the floor.
Oh, he's playing the smoke here. He needs to be careful. These rules. He's got a lot of attention in front of him, but Chibi's keeping it a little easier. Therefore comes the forest. He gets taken down, but they know where these players are. They know where Ion Q is. He will teleport away. I would say no utility-based aggression at all. They just went for the dry peek. So far, BL have been trying to get control on the back of, utility. But this time, they let DC Rules peek out towards Showers without any support whatsoever. He gets a tap and he just dashes away.
Instantaneous runoff is what's the real problem. And first of all, DC Rules, what was that peak? I really want to talk about that. The level of confidence this man has, he didn't even crouch. He just swung out, tapped, and ran away instantly. That's the power of the jet for you, ladies and gentlemen, and that is why this character will never be out of the meta if you know how to play it down to its strengths. But for Grayfox, I don't really get why they wanted to force that fight regardless. And the way that the smokes were placed, right? Think about it. Grayfox, they helped out the jet to play a close quarters angle, even though you have a
Yep.
Sky with a Trailblazer to clear out those close quarters. It's a tough
Exactly.
spot to be in. As Grayfox, I understood what kind of a plan that they were going in for, but with those smokes being in place, you would have expected maybe a Trailblazer to come out from the sky to clear out the close extremities of that smoke, and the KO flash or the KO knife to be a little bit more utilized. But Grayfox, they have a good game plan in mind, and again,
You
this
want
is
to
exactly
play?
the same
Let's
problem that they
play.
had in the previous round. Sorry, the previous
Yep.
match.
Yeah.
Good ideas,
absolutely.
but very half-baked.
Oh, Sai, he's gonna get pressured here, but oh, look at Hoax standing out in the open. He finds one, is able to get away with that. That's absolutely criminal. He should not be able to do that. And now Sai, I think he saw the
In what
shoulder of
situation is he gonna
ASEF.
do this?
Came a little too close, but Sai needs to be careful here. He's going too close to the fire, and he might just get burnt. But he's still confident that maybe he can get one and get away. Of course, he does need to now back off, and there he does. The smoke's going to fade off in a couple of seconds as he will have to be a little bit more patient. They've got the first pick, and that's all they needed. They've taken down the main guy who can enter and cause chaos on this side. Badlove has left. And with that, I believe it is going to be a little bit easier. Oh, Sai, he gave a little bit of a pre-fire there. Needs to be careful.
One day.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. You
Okay,
gotta love
Sai.
this man and his refires.
30 seconds
Good
left.
for another kill. He's looking for the frag, but Sai, don't do it. Not like
is
this.
this guy
His
doing?
team's just like, what is this? Just knife
No,
him.
he needs to
If
get
that
away.
smoke fades, just knife him.
He
Come
needs
on,
to get
ASTF,
away.
I know you want to. Nah, he won't try.
Sai. Nah, man. Okay, probably want to play a fire a little bit of time. But smokes are good. Actually, that's going to allow them to get a plan. Unless they get spammed in
Shots,
from Hookup. And JN plays in an unexpected angle. And he will take him down 4-4. What a absolute turnaround here. Sai getting a little lucky with that second kill there. But this was kind of unnecessary.
Hey, this man is out for blood, and he's gonna get as many kills as he possibly can, because those Seekers, as soon as it comes online, that'll be a big game changer for them for that particular round. Then any sort of a fake that the members of Grayfox would be going for gets thrown out in the water if they want to play through like that. Sky playing towards the long side. He wants to gain that early level of information. Does get the first initial catch over onto the chamber, so they have info that players are playing towards B, but it seems like a default. Grayfox, they want that early level of shower control to just get that ultimate point in the hands of the Brimstone, or maybe even the Raze here. Yeah, Grayfox, what's the game plan? You have taken over showers, yes, but what more do you want?
I've got your
They
trail.
won a short, and they're going into the hands of DC Rules, who, by the way, does have a clear
Good
shot.
shot,
But it's gonna be
Shivy.
Shivy. It's gonna be Shivy actually who covers it up, and the Seekers are gonna get a little bit
Spike
confusing
down A.
around him. DC Rules, but he's got cover. Shivy standing up to absolutely everything coming his way on towards a short. He's found every single kill. The spike is in his feet, but he will be taken down alongside DC Rules. Badlove doing a bit of God's work here, and now he's picked up the operator for maybe a bit of a peek and dash kill, but he will not be allowed to. Look at Sai, though. He's taken out B long all by himself, so he's going to hold out, hoping that a team of attack
30
just
seconds
teleport
left.
away. The two members hopefully teleport, and he can cast him on the brink of that B-side execution. That's not going to be happening. JN swings out unnecessarily, loses his life.
Last
Hoax,
player
careful, the
standing.
timing.
No.
He's so good at it. He gets away with it. Trist almost at 13 HP. There comes the teleport, but the Sky on the other side is ready. What a round from BL. Kind of tore away because of DC Rules and Shivy losing their lives, and then JN kind of honestly swinging unnecessarily there. But in the end, thanks to Hoax once again, they win the round.
Hoax is just so consistent in the way that he plays, and that is astounding. The members of BL, they have an asset under their margins, and Hulks, he is pulling the weight of his entire team until they get themselves back in the groove and back in towards the game. You see rules though? He did play his cards down properly, but got immediately shut down when that operator didn't get a lot of value. But here his op needs to try and find something in a bad spot, needs to immediately TP away, and now Sai out in the grinder. He needs to be careful, but Sai shuts down the showstopper through the smoke. This match has been getting all the kills. Let them play, let them do something. It's a smoke.
Man, call him
Sai
Sai, call
has
him
no
Stewie
remorse.
2K. He is the smoke criminal in this map of mine. So far, he has been, though. We've seen that 2 rounds ago. We're seeing it now as well. And now DC Rules awaits his prey to come to him. He knows that they're going to be coming towards him because Sai and Co have scared him off. He does get blinded for a second. Out come the knives. He's not been attacked by the KO knife, so he's going to be safe. He can go for the updraft kill here. He does have the opportunity to do so, but does not see anything across those smokes. He spots the planter.
Hello?
He saw the second one as well. Loses his live. Panther takes him out of the sky there. But it's still Grayfox in a bit of trouble. They've got players all over the place, and they've got players who are pretty darn low as well. IonQ's the only one who's got pretty much of a workable weapon to win this round, and he is pretty hell and healthy. Can he clutch this out? Because now the plan's gonna go down. ASDF is ready for it. JN holding onto the cross. A fake plan coming in, trying to bait out a bit of a peek here as they can peek together as a team. But maybe they're thinking about teleporting away. Are they? No, it doesn't seem the case because they got no time. They didn't fight this, and IonQ is fighting this twist! He swings out to the back of the side. How do they win this round? How?
There's no way, right? What just happened? IonQ's gonna be good for the first kill. I get this, but what happened on the other side? Hulks and JN, they got completely bamboozled. Wait, no, I think I understand. I think JN was looking towards the back because he expected someone to come through spawn because the spike plan was not going down. He looked at spawn and JN got caught out in the open. And Hulks, even though he's good for the first frag, but the immediate refrag came in from Triss. Absolutely beautiful the way that the members of Grayfox were able to isolate these angles, but the members of BL, they kind of overthought this entire situation. They could have gone in for an earlier push to try and stop out the plant, or even go in for a resurrection from JN, but they opted for none of those plays.
Yep, JN yet again being challenged here. He's seen the trademark. And that's actually not going to be broken just yet. Jane's going to let it rest there for a second as he will break it in the end. And IonQ will be kind of notified about this, of course. He's holding down that angle, maybe hoping that Jane pushes him. That's not going to be the case. A split attack here. They're waiting for the smokes to come down. There they go. The KO knife should be popping in just about a second, but there goes the orbital strike as well. Good ultimate, but it's going to be affecting nobody. They clear out U-Haul. They clear out practically everything towards the front of site, and they've now gotten a bit of space to plant the spike, and the Seeker's in a little bit of a response, but it seems inconsequential because nobody's following up the Seekers here. The grenade as well going to be missing out. This retake is going to be difficult. Badua finds another as well. Hope's going to swing out, lose his life, and Grayfox stabilizing.
Oh, such a slow burn strategy, heading on down over towards B, get out a lot of utility, maybe pull out a couple of rotations over towards the B side first, and then opt to go in for A. But none of that really worked, right? BL, they got the read, they had the understanding that, okay, they're gonna come towards the A side. Instinctively, it's bound to be that case, but the members of Grayfox, they were not afraid. They utilized all of the utility that they had to take full control, and it was pristine. Think about it like this, Universe. You dogged into Lamps, right? You used the Trailblazer, you got the control, and immediately, as soon as someone got bitten, it was a flash coming in from the KO. No one from U-Haul could come out. They were all stuck in there, and then came the players on the back end of the site. Because this guy was stuck holding down the U-Haul's position with the fragments, he threw a flash onto the back of site, and Badlov just immediately flew in. He flew in, got 2 frags, got his third, and Trist, in the moments of that confusion, walked into U-Hauls and got a free kill. It was just perfect.
Really well executed there. They had a complete read of what was happening, what was supposed to be done, and now they've gotten themselves back onto the lead that they had lost, but just by 1 round. They were hoping for this half to end 7-5 so that maybe the defensive half can be, started off on a good note, but All of that depends on how their attack goes. A lot of information actually gained there. I believe Side did spot out the Sky on the other end onto Grayfox. ASDF, I believe, was seen. I'm not quite sure, but there's no rotations being called in just yet, so maybe that information wasn't relayed. Shivy still jump spotting this A short. He expects it to be the case. The smoke gonna be going down in just a second, but it's a little too deep. They cross it and they're already through. A little bit of damage from the Molotov as they walk into the side, and they're over to strike at the right place at the right time.
Good
DC
shot.
rules tap and dash as he gets away. Shivy gets another. He's playing safe, but he will be blinded and killed. There is a trade for trade, but JN has his revival, but he's too far away. He cannot go for the revival. ADC rules, though, he doesn't need anything, he says, because he can just take this team out
30
all
seconds
by himself. A flash comes into our towers to cover them up, but here he goes once again. DC rules needs to be the hero. Spots out one. JN's coming in from spawn, but can he do anything is the question. They're currently not aggressing on that angle, so that's a good thing for JN, but he will be hoping to get a resurrection here, which might be DC rules' cue to move in.
Last player standing.
No, not like this. Too early. He overheated way too much.
Comes in and he wins the fight. JN, good stuff there, but he's still got one more to go. The smoke's dropping from two angles, and there could be a spam coming in. He's on the other
He
side.
didn't get the halfway. He DC'd!
Oh man, but this. Oh, he gets it. Okay, I'm not quite
I think
sure.
there's enough time.
Maybe
just
about a second.
No!
No!
Clutch.
6 milliseconds was the difference maker. JN disconnected at the most unfortunate time. Oh man.
Ever heard of the fact that miracles come when you don't even expect it? This was a miracle and a half for the side of Grayfox. There
I
is
agree.
no situation where they would have won this round, especially after Shivy plays down the smokes. Let's say in a world, it was Shivy who started to hold down the spike and get it to half. I don't think you noticed this, but JN nearly got it to half. Like, he was like, what, maybe like half a second, not even half a second. He was 0.1 second off getting the half. And then he disconnected.
He was.
It would have been a completely different situation if he got the half there.
True, I 100% agree with that. I think that JN almost had the diffuse there for at least, make it easy for Shivy, but Shivy had to fight. He had to go for that kill, and only then could he defuse safely. But unfortunately for him, he was just off by 6 milliseconds. That is painfully close, man. And now, because of course we had JN disconnect, we're gonna wait for him to come back into the game as a technical pause has been called in. But Aggressive, what do you think of the first half? Do you think Grayfox making it up to 7-5 after the slip up that they had from 4-0? Was it is it a decent half for them, or should we have expected more?
I think this is a perfect half for them. Primarily because their utility usage was just spot on. They knew how they wanted to go in for executions, the rushes were quick, and the communication lines were a lot better than what we saw on the map of Haven. Tough spots for them when they were on the attacking side there, but finally the team has calmed down. They are really playing together as a squad, and overall, I do believe they're going to be happy with the results, but they need to keep their aggression up as they're on the defensive side as well. They have the utility to take a lot of aggressive control. Don't forget, normally what happens to a Sky, how do you play Sky on the map of Vine? You play towards B, right? You take early information outside of B long, and then you're like, oh, there's no one B long. I think there's a lot of players playing towards showers. You flash out of showers and just immediately dash out with the, not dash out of course, but immediately run into the teleporter, use a dog, try to help out your teammates, and you take shower controls away from them, and that forces all of the attackers to either make a choice. We fight for showers, we go into A, or we immediately rotate. That gives a signal to your backside players to run towards B and play from there. And the members of Grayfox, they can do it a lot more often because they have that KO. That KO allows them to utilize all of their Sky utility and use it early on, let it regenerate because they know they have a crutch in their back being the KO flashes.
Exactly.
And I'm
Yeah, that is
hoping
true.
that that level of aggression from the side of Grayfox is present during their defensive side, because otherwise, I think they're gonna fall a little bit flat if they try to play this reactively.
There is also, yeah, their aggression does call for a lot of the utility that they have present, but it's also the fact that they can flank this team of
Oh yeah, true,
BL
true, true.
pretty easily given timings, right? So the fact that they have no solid set, no, it is going to be quite the distraction for them. And I believe that because JN has, the Sage, he's only going to be good for so much. He is going to be looking to hold on that flank, but he also has the role of probably playing as the secondary duelist, if at all, if not anybody else, right? Because the Sage, of course, if you want to go in about the Sage mode, you're going to try an entry along with your raise to give a little bit of that, trade up action. But then the backstab is going to be difficult. So I expect maybe quick executes and fast turnouts from the side of the attack as well, because they know that they've got no time to allow these opponents of theirs to make a big flank coming in, because they can do it from multiple different angles. They can come from B long, they can take showers, they can take different angles, and they can do it together as a team as well, which means that if this attack is just going to hold on, wait for pushes, and expect them maybe, try to take a fight, then they're going to lose out on players on 50-50 fights that they might not win. And the better option for them would for just to be run it down straight, get a little bit of synergy in terms of the utility that you're popping on to get the aggression control onto site, push off the defense as much as you can, put them in angles where they're going to be uncomfortable, especially on that A side. Even if they're in showers, go and prioritize the plant first by getting maybe the grenade to pop in outside of shower's door so that nobody spams you down, and then go for the plant instantly, because the post plant is their best bet scenario. Then they can hold the flank together, because before that, the flank is going to be kind of a enigmatic situation for them, because you don't know if it's coming from A short, you don't know if it's coming from the right side of A short, from the left side of A short, you don't know if it's coming from a different direction from showers. It's going to be quite a task for them with the Sage on their roster.
Yeah. Plus, I do believe that the Sage is mainly picked up because they want to cut off a portion of the site. But that's the thing. Like, why do you want to pick up a Sage anymore? Because the Viper does exactly the same thing, but better. I want to ask you this question. I think that a lot of teams, especially in our region, are still kind of hugging the old meta strategies a little bit too much from time to time, and that's a huge problem. Here, the Sage doesn't really get a lot of value. Yeah, JN, it allows him to frag out a lot more because he has to worry about utility less, but imagine a situation where he was maybe playing the Viper instead. That would have been a big game changer, right, for them?
Yeah, I would have preferred the Viper a lot more. Yes, I know even if the Viper was there, the flank possibility would have been a little bit lesser. But with the Viper, you can cause all sorts of chaos. That wall towards A short makes the opponent not at all know how to counter it, because you can just quite literally walk in on the back of that wall and take U-Haul control for free, right? You never know. Even if there's somebody in U-Haul, they're going to be afraid of fighting you there because they've got no support at all. So it's going to be difficult for them for sure without the Viper, because the Sage wall is a one-time thing. Yes, you can break it down as well, but the Viper as well, although you can spam through it, it just keeps coming up as many times as you like. So the Viper is better. But ladies and gentlemen, you know what's going to be better? If JN comes back a little bit sooner, because we've got a little bit of a power cut on his side. Unfortunately, we will have to wait for a bit, and we will be back real soon. Shorter break. Go grab yourself some snacks. We'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We do have JN back on the server, and we should be hopping into the game as quickly as possible and see where this game is going to lead us. Are we going to see a Lotus pop in this best of 3, or is it all going to be ending on bind? 7-5 is the current score, and we will be heading into the game to find out if or not Grayfox Esports can actually push us to a map number 3. After taking the advantage, they seem pretty okay, but they've still got a couple of corners to check.
Yeah, I do think so as well. Overall, their composition really has been working out beautifully for them. They finally found a playstyle that really works out well for their own side, and hopefully they're going to be able to carry it forward on their defensive half. Attack and defense, especially on the map of mine, is drastically different. And here, hopefully Grayfox understand that, okay, we can't let the members of BL get a very comfortable head start, because if they do, it's not going to look that good for them.
True, absolutely. Let's have a look at how this turns up, though. Here we go. Bit of an
James,
aggressive A short. It'll be interesting. They get information that there's nobody towards A short, and there comes the flash towards B. But look at the hookup push here. They've actually gotten control, and they're going to let it back. They're playing this 4v5 itself, and now they know that they've got advantages in their favor. The plant will go down, though, successfully as it comes down to it. But they've got a flank, and they've got a bit of people coming in from the spawn region. This is going to be difficult because they're running in towards Long Gear, and Shivy, he still finds one. Just goes down, but IonQ trades him up. And back he comes to the Classic. He's got one bullet in the Headhunter, but he's not going to be able to use it because he knows that he's going to immediately switch out to the other weapons. Badua comes in from spawn, finds the one, and ESDF is just going to stick this defuse. The grenade will push him off the half mark, but he's got it half at least. And now we get back into it. No more utility available for Hoax. He's just going to hear it diffused as the last man standing, JN. He's nowhere yet to be found. This is going to be quite the map if he doesn't turn back up.
It's going to be a hard one for them. They need that Sage to, at least at the bare minimum, give them a bit of support through maybe a heal or even a wall. Could be a slow or something at the bare minimum, but a 4v5 is going to be a tough one. And I'm pretty sure that the members of Grayfox, they know this. They can easily take these fights and get that early man advantage, understanding that, hey, it's a 3v5. We can play this for the long haul. And I do believe that the members of BL, they're trying to play out this map for as long as they possibly can. Drag out the time, but dragging out time for your buddy JN could work, but it also kills the momentum of the team, right?
True, absolutely. They might not be able to execute what they would have wanted to without JN being there, but that's exactly why you can see they're holding out towards A short and towards Showers. The Panzer almost ate that bullet on his elbow, but he gets away. Puts down the smoke as well to cover up a bit of a close angle, but Bad Love, he's got actually a pretty good spot there to just get the burst up if somebody does show their head. No, they're not interested. Both DC Rules and Hoax might want to jump in towards U-Haul, but they're not going to be able to do it. ASDF and Panzer both find one each, and the last two members left towards Showers are going to be losing out their life as well. Again, JN, last man left standing, and I believe that the defense, they're going to IonQ take it. That's a free ultimate orb, if you could say so.
Yep. They have the control. But for now, that was the pistol round and of course the anti-eco, so you can't really say that they don't, they're playing really badly on their attacking half. You have to give them an opportunity to try to showcase what they can really do when it comes down to the buy round. I'm really hoping that DC Rules really starts to show up here on this attacking side. Yeah, I understand you don't have one of your members, but he showcased so much mechanical skill when it came down to the defensive half. He's good for the first kill, but the problem is he's never able to capitalize on the second! And IonQ! There's a reason why he's a god with the sniper. And he's making sure that he's gonna give him the pain and give him the hurt. DC Rules takes a back seat, and this poor guy is not even allowed to play the game anymore.
Yep, he's gone. He's been sent away. And now they're just hoping that these Vandals can probably clutch out a 3v5. Sai, he's got a flank coming towards him. He's aware of that fact. And ASDF, he's covering up every angle. But Sai, he's turned around. And now ASDF is just going to wait for his opportunity of window. Maybe he's just hoping that Sai jumps into the site the plant has already gone down. So this 5v3 retake is all dependent on the fact that ASDF can maybe make something happen. Out he comes, and he's going to try and find Sai in this. He heard him jump up and down as well. They know he's outside a window, and Trish takes him out in the end. Panzer finds Hoax, and the last man standing, Shivy, is going to be stuck and killed in the middle of the site. The plant will be diffused as now it is 10-5, and Lotus seems pretty likely at this point, doesn't it?
Yep.
None of my stuff has malfunctioned.
Well, this is right around the corner, and 4OG, and they are gonna be mad at him, but
Shot,
what
too.
can you
Wow.
do? Yeah, IMQ just, he's an absolute demon when it comes down to using stuff like the Marshal and the Operator. Ever since we first saw him back in the day, he's still not lost his touch. That's saying something. 5-10 on the scorecards, and the possibility of a 5-11 is just around the corner, because don't forget, that was a very expensive round coming in from the members of Grayfox. Sorry, from the members of BL. And the fact that they did lose out on it means now their weaponry is going to take a big hit. On the other side, Grayfox, they're more than happy here as IIQ! He wanted to take an early duel. Does catch on the back. Trish!
Spike down B.
With the spray down! What is that control?
The
One
bait and
enemy
switch
remaining.
was perfect from them. IonQ immediately teleports away, and the minute he does, out comes the flash, and he blinds all 3 members, actually 4 members. He blinded all of them, but Hoax was able to survive with just 5 HP to his name, and that's exactly why he was able to take him out. Grayfox now just wait patiently for this raise to walk into their crosshairs, because they know he's got nothing to do here. He's got just a bullet of life left in him, and that bullet can be delivered through any wall in this game, and he will still die. And he could hope to just save that Vandal, maybe, but he doesn't need to worry about economy, actually, because... No, actually, he does. Never mind, because his player is not actually disconnected and left the game. He's alive every single round, which means the economy
30
is actually
seconds
going to remain
left.
the same. So, yeah, saving this Vandal does make a better opportunity, but to what avail, Aggressive? To what avail?
There's no set game plan coming in from the side of BL as well. They don't have an answer to any of this. They're getting caught off guard, and the constant rushes coming in from the side of
10 seconds
Grayfox is
left.
just burning through any morale that BL could have under the bag. Oaks, he is Mr. Consistent, but that consistency doesn't matter whatsoever unless your team is able to give you something in return. And Hoax, he gets a little bit of a consolation prize with that Vandal in hand, but what more is there?
You can see it right at the bottom of your screen. Bad Love, the minute he took that chip in damage, he bought the full armor, and he was like, oh wait, is this worth it? Am I gonna get one tapped here? He's like, nah. Then he unbuys it again because he's like, I've still got 44 armor left. Just because he
Man has
touched that
7,000 credits. Man has 7,000 credits.
Yeah,
and he's being
can go for
stingy
it.
with it. And he's being
Exactly.
stingy.
He's actually being stingy. Interesting. Okay, here we go. Again, towards B long goes the operator this time. It's been spotted. And Flash to follow it up. IonQ dodges it. He's got DC Rules who might want to actually push him. Nah, they're actually going away. They're going towards Hookah, it seems.
Wait a minute.
The Orbital Strike comes in. They've got 2 kills. That's big. But he's running into that IonQ with a good kill there. He shuts it down. Makes it a 3v3. As now... Actually, yeah, it is going to be a 3v3, forgive me. As the players of Badua Lipa now running into a day. Panzer, he's got a good spot here. The smoke actually helping him out.
Oh, this is so good!
He gets gold! Oh
Spike
my
down
god.
A.
They thought that the Molotov's going to save them. But that box, that dreaded little wooden box, allows him to get that victory. And now it's Hoax alone.
One enemy remaining.
Interesting choice of switch of weapons, but okay. I get it. And 12-5, ladies and gentlemen. Lotus coming up pretty soon onto your screens.
Yeah, this is just an unfortunate situation overall for the side of BL. What more can you do, right? 4v5, you're just caught out in the middle of nowhere. You can't really utilize any of the strategies that you had in mind early on, and I think overall the compositional disadvantages for this particular map was pretty telling right off the bat, right? Even if you had that Sage on board, correct? You just had an
yeah.
extra bit of weaponry.
Here.
Nothing more than that when you think about it.
Yeah, probably. I would agree about the same, but I guess we'll never know, right?
It's
What
different,
Jaden could
yeah.
have
That's
done.
very different.
I guess we'll never know. But we will hopefully find him to come back in the third map. As now, the final round potentially, what could be in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, is a split approach at the moment. They've left a spike on the spawn, and I think Hoax is now going slowly to fetch it. No, he's not. Okay, interesting route to go get the spike. But they're heading in towards B, it seems. They do draw out a smoke, and now the trademark's been taken off as well. So they realize that this is going to be definitely a B hit. Ion Q's been smoked up. Good smoke, actually, and Trist is going to cover up for him towards hook out DC rolls. Takes out one, but instant trade-off. He will be flanked, but here comes ASD from the teleporter. He's going to hold on to his angle for a bit so that his teammates can rotate from spawn as he tries to sandwich them, but this is a 2v3. Hoax does have the ultimate. The Order Strike comes in before they can actually go down for the plan, but they probably choose to teleport away. And there he goes. He finds himself on the back towards a site.
30
He
seconds
teleports
left.
in. He's got the ultimate. No other utility, by the way, so he could just go for it. Darren pops out. Darren finds the kill, but he's down to 17 HP. From the heavens above comes Panther. He could go for the spray. Almost finds him. He gets him.
It's off the flat.
Comes down. Wow.
One
And it's
enemy
over.
remaining.
GG, ladies and gentlemen.
10
He-
seconds
oh,
left.
I
Good
really
night
thought he
and
missed it, but
sleep
he-
tight.
They're gonna let it. They're just gonna let it trickle down as Grayfox. Well, they push us, ladies and gentlemen, to Lotus on the
Defend.
back of a anticlimactic bind.
What can you do, right? We kind of expected this to happen, but then again, I
True.
love the fact that Grayfox just had so much confidence coming into this map. And that just goes to show that this team, even though they lost out on the map of Haven, even though they lost out on the direction that they were going in for, when it comes down to bind, they are very confident. Overall strategy coming into play, and their executions were just spot on. This is what I want to see as you're heading on down onto Lotus. Lotus plays out similarly to the map of Haven, but it also is a very brawl-intensive map. And I do think that the members of Grayfox, they're going to have a lot of advantages when they play there.
Yep, absolutely. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of map number 2, which kind of ended up in a way that we didn't want it to, didn't expect it to, but it is what it is. I guess JN is still experiencing his bit of troubles, but hopefully he's going to be back real soon, and we should be hopping on to Lotus with no problems. But for now, we really hope that this map of Lotus is going to give us something new. I'm not quite sure what the composition is going to be, what exactly we're going to see. Is this also going to be played 4v5? I really hope not, because then Grayfox are going to go ahead with actually no real competition, and that would be something that we don't want to see.
I do think they have one player that could be coming in. Winner, I do believe. He
Oh, yeah,
is
of course, yeah,
on
they've
the
got 6,
registered
yep.
list, but is he there? That's the
I'm not
different
quite
biggest
sure.
question.
I mean, we'll find out, I guess. It's still a little bit away. We do have a short little break before Lotus begins in, but let's have a look at the highlights quickly, as honestly, they don't have any consequence to what we witnessed, but the first half, at least,
True.
was a bit of competition.
True. Both teams, they had a really good read on one another. They were constantly fighting each other out. JN walking in with so many beautiful plays, man. Overall, like, both teams were very evenly matched on this particular map. They were just trading blows constantly in and out, and then Hoax, man, he pulled off so many miracles early on, but it wasn't enough to phase the members of Grayfox. They held strong,
Absolutely.
and the strategies were very much prominent in the way that they were playing, right, Universe? They were evolving, they were constantly changing up what they were doing, and their executions, it was just chef's kiss level of perfect.
Yeah,
They
there were
didn't-
a couple of rounds.
They went slow, they went fast. It was good.
Yeah, there were a couple of rounds where they did, showcase their, strategy really well. But I think that Grayfox were honestly handed a bit of a lifeline towards the end there, because the comeback that did happen, we could see right here, right? They got the 4th round here. They were doing really well, and they even took the lead here, BL. But this two rounds that came in the hands of Grayfox Esports, thanks to again that bit of change that they got in their pace and they made it work, was really, really well done. And this round again was amazingly done in the end, of course, because yeah, this is exactly where
this
JN
round.
lost his life, and since then it was, of course, BL's downfall. By the way, if we do remember properly, BL was the pick. Forgive me, BL did pick Bind, so this is going to be quite a heavy loss that they're going to take. Although they know that this is a 4v5, they would have accepted that, you know what, we should just be concentrating on Lotus now. And yeah, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at the final round of this best of three. Lotus going to be coming in real soon, as now Grayfox have a comeback story on their hands, although not the kind that they were expecting.
Hey, you don't really scoff at the opportunities that are given to you, right?
True, I agree.
There were so many situations where the members of Grayfox should have lost, but players such as Trist, Panzer, IonQ coming out of absolutely nowhere, and the endless amounts of support that was given by ASDF, it's something to commend here. But I have to give it towards the side of BL that they're individually extremely talented. Each and every one of these players, they can clutch it around just by themselves. And hopefully when they go into the map of Lotus, they're going to be able to shake off the fact that they lost this map. It wasn't in their control, but I think you understand this as well, Universe. When you know for a fact that, hey, this is our favorite map pick, this is the map that we are the most comfortable in, and then you lose out on it, it just really stings.
That is true. It does absolutely stink, and you are going to try your level best to, you know, make up for the much of it. But if you don't have one of your players, then you really can't do much about it. You're gonna have to just get it done with, hope for the best, and go on to the next. And that's exactly what we're gonna be seeing. Is JN gonna be available for the next game? I guess we'll find out in a couple of minutes, because we do have a short little break on the back of this. Or are they going to get in their sixth player winner who has joined this team? We've not seen him yet, but if he is joining in, well and good. We should be continuing on be off of the game. But how will that affect the dynamics of this team, BL? We will find out soon enough. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, Grayfox Esports in the driver's seat. I wouldn't even say it's a good win. I wouldn't even say it's just a win that was handed to them for free, that they will take, of course. Like I said, opportunities come your way. You're not going to say no to it. And just like that, we are at the end of map number 2. Number 3, Lotus, coming on our way real soon. And before we go there, I do want to ask you, Aggressive, any expectations before we send this to a break?
I think that Grayfox are going to bring in something really interesting for the map of Lotus. That is one of those maps that really change out how a team can play. But we're going to find that out soon enough. So we're going to head on down over into a short little break, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again as we have made our way back to the match of the day, which has unfortunately not gone the way that we're expecting it to on map number 2, but that is all done and gone. We've got another map underway. Lotus is coming in now, and it is going to be quite the map because, of course, JN is back. His power has been restored, and we should be heading into this game pretty soon. Aggressive, of course, I do want to ask you, Lotus, going to be a bit of a spike in this mix. Let's have a look at the agent selection as I ask you. Who do you think might have the upper hand as we look at the agents being picked?
Purely out of what I saw in that last game, we don't talk about the second half, but from the first half at least, Grayfox I think will be the ones to take this particular map away. But it really does depend what kind of composition that they're going for. ASTF opting for the KO is a little bit questionable on this map. I don't know if that's going to help out on Lotus because from what we have seen in the past, the KO just doesn't really have a lot to give compared to characters like Sky. Of course, Sky's going to get picked up and a Breach.
Yeah, I am a little bit, of course, concerned, just like you, if the KO's actually been loaded in. The Breach is kind of a, staple on this map, and Shivy,
maybe
he's known to play that. I'm kind of iffy about this, but if you have a Chamber and a KO, it's kind of I would say they are playing in the way that, they believe in their composition more than the meta itself, and the fact that they want to try and make sure that maybe they have the same composition across multiple maps. Having a KO across Bind was, of course, a bit of a shocker, but a KO once again on this map is kind of throwing me off. And of course, you combine that with a Chamber, which I have seen the Chamber a couple of times on this, but it's pretty rare. It's not that easy that you see Chamber in pro play on this map of Lotus, because he actually doesn't have too much, too many ways to actually use his kit. Of course, the rendezvous, towards C long does prove healthy. Towards A long as well, kind of does prove healthy. He can move around between B and that region of A as well. But that's kind of it. His trademark is going to be a little bit difficult because they've got no other Sentinel utility. So I want to see how they actually defend this, because I'm not quite sure how the Chamber is going to prove useful in defense. For now, they're on the attack. Aggressive. Any thoughts before we get into this chaos?
I think the KO is just primarily there to just stop a lot of the utility spam that normally comes through on this particular map, but then again, he needs to have lineups for it. The KO doesn't get a lot of value early on in these rushes, and I think that Hoax is going to casually walk away with murder here. That nade's going to be perfect.
Oh,
Stun is even
so
beautiful. This is perfect. What more can you say?
The spike was dropped, but it's been retrieved instantly, and they're actually going in for this fight. They're not blinding away, and that's a good kill. Trist gets a great first kill. Sai will be gone, but they've still got so much more trouble in front of them. It is a 3v4, by the way, and now they might be looking at a bit of a C take. Now they're actually not rotating away. They're hoping that the opponents make a bit of a moment on the back of that door rotation. For now, things have been quieted down, but Hoax, he's made sure that they've not moved in towards the C site. And he also, by the way, I believe I think he picked up a grenade thanks to 2 kills. I'm not quite sure. Let's have a look. No, it's going towards B again. JN ready for it. And look at where she is, man. He's actually not using it. Oh, he's smart. He knows that this is actually going to go towards Waterfall, and Hoax has been aware of it. Look at it. He's tucking himself in. A good... Oh,
beautiful.
Beautiful. And Hoax!
I'm still here.
Why did all 3 of them turn around? All 3
I think they were all just stunned. Yeah, they were expecting Shibi to just come out of the corner immediately, but Shibi just played it for the long game. He was all the way back inside a spawn, and he just waited there. And this first initial push, yeah, I understand what Grayfox were going in for, but all of the members on the side of BL, they were ready for it. Normally, the race would never play towards B, right? It's close to impossible for him to play there. And Grayfox, they were trying to be smart. They were like, okay, normally what happens on the A side, the nade gets thrown over towards main, and that's how they take the control, yada, yada, yada. Let's go towards B instead. But BL. They got the read, they had the timing, and now they're the ones who are aggressing towards A. They want that early level of control, and they gained it substantially quickly without investing a lot of utility. Only one read stun, and of course the race satchels, and that's it. They have full control now. They still have a nade to play off of.
Most certainly they do. And now...
Yo, okay, Sai.
There is a little bit of... Okay, Sai, he just spammed it again. Hoax, he's got a good lineup here for the grenade. He pushes them off, and Sai's actually... No, it's actually going to be Sai who pushes them off. He takes control by taking the first pick, and they've just shut them down on this A side. And Sai, he's still so keen on getting more kills. This man just does not know when to stop, it seems. Spamming down that Spectre, and he's losing out a lot of bullets here, but he's got support, which does die a win. Sai loses life as well.
Bad.
A little too aggressive for their own good, and now that's weapons being retrieved. Two players can play on the back of the Shivy, stunned a little too early, but there comes the backstab at the right time. JN will give a bit of a touch and go on to Ion Q. He's been tagged down real low, but they've been sandwiched here. Where do they go? Where do they go? Heading towards B, it seems, but that Aftershock will stop them for a couple of more seconds. They head back towards A instantly, where they've got a Killjoy waiting for them. Takes out the one. DC rules. He's playing a little bit of a safer role this time, but the plant will go down irrespective, it seems. Trying to spam through. Down, he gets taken out. It's a 2v2, and now it's actually doable.
Oh, you don't want to be in odds like this, especially against a Classic at that close range. Panzer, if he does get another Classic burst straight to the face, this is going to be massive for them. Shimmy, he's going to try to jump one straight in. Shimmy's going to be good for the first initial frag, has the timing for maybe a kill. He needs to try to find the shot, but I don't think the Spectre has any bullets. He's going to need to reload this. Both guns on very low ammo. And Shimmy, he had that opportunity to maybe try to reload that gun, but it's not going to happen, not against Panzer. When he's on this Omen, these clutches are just so easy for him, Universe.
You've got to be kidding me, man. Okay, I completely blame this on the two players who are taking aim and control. You got 2 kills. Why are you pushing up further? You've got no more utility to play off of it. And you know that they've got players who have pretty good aim. They can just swing you together, and they did. I'm really confused. They kind of threw the round onto the hands.
That was a big overheat.
A humongous overheat. It was a supernova, if you could say so. But now they've lost their bonus round, forgive me, their anti-eco round, and on the back of that, they are forced to eco and let their opponents take the advantage now as Grayfox looking to explore C. They've got a full buy. They don't need to worry. Size called it out that this A main is probably going to be clear in just about a second. And there we go. Rotation should be called in, but they're actually taking in for a flank. They're taking it pretty slow, though, as Grayfox are actually playing contact on C. There comes the flash. Finally, they're going to be running in. Bad Love sees the first. He's going to hope for the second towards spawn. Spots it out at the right time. He's still got a grenade, by the way. The paint shows, but he doesn't even need them. Trailblazer to follow it up. He's going for a little bit more. Stun comes in. Right grenade, right time. They exchange it, but can this be held on?
It's gonna be a really tough position to try and break into here, especially with so many members of Grayfox holding down the line. Okay, Hoax still somehow got that frag. ASTF's gonna be the casualty for the side, and Hoax, he's doing so much work, but the Sheriff's looking for another one inside. Does get the price for it, and now there's even more to worry about here. Sai, he has an opportunity to clutch this one. He has a lot of weapons to play around with, but not a lot of utility. He just needs to deal the damage and run on away. He's gonna try to survive, but not against stress. The tracking is good. 1-2 on the scorecard, but this was a very expensive round for the members of Grayfox.
Yep, absolutely it was. I'm not quite sure what these players are, in the zone for, but getting these pistol kills should not be happening. The overextensions, aggressive, are too much from both sides in the first 2 rounds itself. It's unnecessary, but it has happened now, and I hope they realize that they don't need to push in more than they need to, because Grayfox could have kept that round to just 4 men alive, I'm pretty sure. And now, Oaks, by the way, yet again, first 3 rounds, he's already got his ultimate. Blocked by Sai. He got body blocked by him. So a satchel's gone to waste, but it doesn't matter. They've actually already pushed off this Grayfox Esports team from the A site. A bit of contact towards C, as Bad Love's hoping that he can fly in. Flash comes in through. Jane's not going to be affected. A lot of utility, but nobody to run in just yet.
Oh, this is ambitious. That could have been gone wrong in just a couple of seconds. JN still survives here, holds down the line. DC rules, gets another catch, and the smokes came in so late. This has gone from bad to worse, and the ultimate's gonna get popped. Hoax is good for another kill, and the bodies just pile on the seaside. Blood in the water, and it's gonna be the members of Grayfox who are on the floor as well. BL, this was a beautiful hold coming out from them, and a big communication gap, I do believe, from the members of Grayfox. They rushed this execute, and the Omen couldn't even get that smoke down over towards the side of defender spawn.
Yeah, just kind of threw themselves under the bus there with their movements. I think they kind of took it a little too late. The flashes came in, and so did the Sky utility, but they just couldn't follow up on it. Either way, now the A side yet again being contested. Hoax! He's going a little too aggressive, and he loses his life on the back of it. A little too close for comfort. Sai stuck here and needs to get away, but just when he tries to, Panther swings that corner, and Sai should have already had that destroyed by JN, but I'm not quite sure why. JN just didn't come there on time. It's gonna be... Oh, he has a flash. He blinds them up. He's a what?
One enemy
The
remaining.
spam gets him, really?
Nature girl down.
Teleport's ready.
DC rolls.
Bot coming
Last
back.
man standing. He does have his utility. One alarm bot, that's about it. But he's going to have problems coming in from so far away. Look at that Guardian waiting for the cross. DC Rules needs to check every single angle, and he will be caught on the back of it. Grayfox, another good round from them. It's actually a thrifty from them, which is, of course, on the back of a couple of pistol kills. But Trist's kill there onto JN shouldn't have been possible. He just spams his sheriff and he finds that kill.
That is what you call an unfortunate series of events. Everything that could have gone wrong for BL there went wrong in a matter of instances. And Panzer just used his TP for the first time to take that early control over towards Rubble, and Hulks was just not ready for it. Good adaptations from the members of Grayfox to get this round, and the fact that they won it on that thrifty basically guarantees them a very strong economy for the next two rounds. Good usage of utility to clear everything out here as DC Rule needs to take a backseat. JN once again playing it a bit too aggressive, but the Flash's timing was perfect here. But they're not opting for the C rush because they know the rotations are already here and the timing is key. They need to rotate quickly or maybe try to take a fight, but none of the members of BL, they're giving away a body. And look at the way that Grayfox are playing. They're playing this one slow and they want to re-hit towards C. They want to let the members of BL cook a little bit and try to overthink the knowledge that they have.
They're hoping that maybe the Sky would flash in and give the call that there is nobody there, but Sai is all the way across the other side of the map, and he's going to see a smoke pop in. He's not going to call this fake because he knows he's taking an aggressive position, so he knows that this is not going to be the case. And look at the smoke that comes in at C. Instinctively, they know this is going to be a C hit, so they're sticking to their guns. Good readings here. Actually, you know what? It's actually a bad fake. It's not even a good read. It's actually a pretty unconvincing fake, but here comes the flash. They're running in, and they don't need any fakes, it seems, because they can just run it down with their flashes and fire in together as a squad of 4 and win all of their duels. Bit of trouble onto Shivy, and the door has been open, but Shivy actually finds one, and he will look for the other, but he's not going to be successful. 2-4, Grayfox finding this round yet again.
Absolutely beautiful. The way that BL just tried to go in for a read there, it would have been good for them, but not the weaponry. Maybe if they had a judge in hands of Hulks, there was an opportunity that they could have survived on this particular round, but just didn't pan out the way that you would have hoped for them. And Grayfox, they finally have the lead and a very strong economy to play around with. I think they're set for the next 3 rounds, right? Even if they lose here.
It does look like it, but we'll find out. They're pushing in towards DC Rules. Yet again, that C take coming in. A smoke is not going to be helping them with anything. Out comes a showstopper from Badlove as he pushes everyone away from the site. And he probably will get a kill. No, he doesn't. Actually goes towards Waterfall. I was expecting him to probably fire towards Spawn. But he does have a judge, so he can cover off that angle pretty well anyway. And with this post plan coming in, there's practically nothing I expect to be done by the defense. Maybe 1 or 2 kills max.
just used to maybe get some noise in. Yeah, Bad Love. He's gonna be able to get a catch over on a one. Satchel movement is absolutely beautiful. They get so much more value, and it's gonna be Panzer on the back foot with ASTF to hold down the flank 2-5 as Grayfox. They have a proper read on the map of Lotus, and it seems as though my analysis was spot on. Looking at the utility usage coming in from the members of Grayfox, they are comfortable as all hell, and their rushes are working out beautifully. I think it's time for maybe a switch up where BL, they push towards the side of C long a little bit more, take that early control, because it seems that Grayfox are in a very comfy spot.
Do you smell?
Yeah, so far they're absolutely loving the way they're working this map out, and it seems the KO has been doing pretty good work. Although he's not really shown us too much ASDF. He's been on the quieter end. It's mostly been just, you know, winning these runs on the basis of out-fragging and just running in thanks to Bad Love's entry and his utility, to be honest. But now, they're taking a bit of a slow approach. Held out themselves towards A main. Sai will detect them thanks to the flash, but he's alone here. Needs to be careful. He will lose this fight if both of them decide to swing together, which seems likely to be the case, because they're inching towards him slowly. There could be a bit of a creep out, but no. On the other side, Bad Love, he's ready. He saw him swing. Sai's actually found one. Never mind. He's going for the orb, and he loses his life. Out comes the trade at the right time, but C site gonna be the point of attraction.
Yeah, and ASDF needs to make a bucket and a beeline towards that other side. A beautiful ultimate getting popped, maybe a little bit too far. You don't want to be in a spot like that, but I do believe that the plan is to just get this spike down and immediately run off of the side. Does Holtz a little bit messy there, but still gets a catch over onto INQ as Bad Love looking for a little bit more of a fight here. Shibby, ultimate in hand, and both ults getting used so early on. Wait, the defenders had a lockdown. Maybe used in tandem could be a bad idea, as Bad Love still good for maybe a kill. Not gonna happen just yet. Jimmy does get the shutdown over onto him, and now they need to run it down quickly as fast as they possibly can. The spike is in no man's land, and they need to run away. A little bit of a tiny mishap.
I'm not quite sure why the spike was planted so deep when they had the entire site control. Because if they knew that the Killjoy has a lockdown and it potentially could be used, they should be planting for A main. Forgive me,
wait,
C
no,
main.
they didn't have a smoke. They didn't have a smoke for Waterfall. You can see two players were sitting in Waterfall. They had no smoke for it.
But they did have 4 players on site, to be honest, and they could have got the cover down. So it's just a matter of the decision that they took, and it seemed like it just didn't work out for them. Again, towards A main, the aggression coming in. Panzer, he's been tagged down real low, but he's still gotten away with one. Yes, he will. Bad Love comes in to distract them. Actually, the distraction's amazing because he finds 2 kills by just swinging out.
Jahan's pretty much in no man's land out here. He's gonna get caught out by Bad Love. Timing is everything there, and for Bad Love, it doesn't happen at all. Jules does go get 1 kill at the bare minimum, but whatever he gets here is just to farm up that ultimate a little bit quicker. It's a close to impossible round for him to try and win out here, especially with INQ on this operator. The turret's gonna cause some problems, and click and a half coming in from INQ. It's nothing to worry about. 3-6 as Grayfox. They have a strong hold here.
I'm confused about why JN decided to teleport onto the middle of the site, on the back side. He could have gone in towards back cubby, right? But out in the open, giving himself up like that and then teleporting, expecting that nobody's going to follow him up there because they know, of course, there's an equipping delay when you use the teleport. Step. Yeah, shadow step, exactly. Kind of misjudged that. But now they've done what they've done, and Dua Lipa have gone down by 3-6. And Sai, he's gonna face off 5, but he gets 2. He's done.
How does he get a death?
I'm not even sure, man. Dry peeks out, finds 2, and makes it still easy for his team to actually win this round. 4 versus 3. Grayfox.
He was alone on A?
Exactly.
Wait. Sai was alone on A. He walked out, tried to pick up an orb, and got 2 kills. It's just confusion all around. It feels like the members of BL just are kind of winging it at this point, and it could just be working.
Oh man, I'm not quite sure what or why, but one by one, but Lipa start losing their players and they start losing the round as well. A good try on Q. He just that right, but Trist is gonna win this round for them. He gets the one, and now they don't need to worry. The flash comes in perfectly timed. JN had to be forced to look away, and he was hoping that the chamber would walk into his crosshair, but not gonna be the case. Trist. But this first 2 kills from Psy were insane, man. He did what his team needed to win that round, to be honest, but they still couldn't clutch it up.
They don't have the weapons, so you can't really be that harsh on them, no, can you?
We've
Was a
seen
tough
the
spot to
before.
be.
To be fair, we've seen the thrifties before.
I mean, of course. But let's just give them the benefit of the doubt, right? They're having a tough time. They're not really able to communicate to each other as much, and these individual plays are just not working. A little bit more of a utility-heavy play coming out finally from the members of BL. They want to stop these rushes, but as soon as they stop the rush on one particular side of the map, the other one's getting bombed into. It's so difficult to try and get a hold of what the members of Grayfox want to do. Their rotation are instantaneous, and they have more than enough utility to take full control of any site that they want.
Yeah, absolutely. Bad Love gonna go and gain a little bit extra control, but nothing to avail on the back of that showstopper. And now comes Hoax's showstopper as he's gonna try fly in, but DC rules. He finds a great kill onto ASDF trying to escape from sight, and they don't check this corner. They don't check this corner. He just spams down 2 bullets and he doesn't even check that corner. Man, that is just extremely wrong decision making. Trist once again to clutch it out. 8-3. Grayfox in the lead massively before going into the second half.
Trist is a demon, man. Like, when you let this guy frag out, he will bring in so much value to your team. It is insane. And the way that he plays Sky is just absolutely perfect as well. Good Sky players are the bane of any Valorant player's existence. They know how to flash, they know how to catch you out as soon as you peek from a corner, and also some of their flashes are so good that they can peek out with the flash and still not get blinded. These techniques are done by Trish to perfection. And Grayfox, they have the read. They're in the heads of BL, and the members of BL, they don't have a read. What do they really want to do to try and stop them here? Because the constant evolution of the strategies being done by Grayfox is what's really causing problems. Now, in this round, they're playing slow. So now BL, they're left scratching their heads of where exactly are the players.
Yep, Psy has been smoked off his angle, and the rotations are being called in as he gets a little bit of information with the Trailblazer, but nothing more. And there goes the ultimate as well. The knock command. Hoax takes in a chunk of damage, but he delivers himself. Points 2 with a single Bulldog spray down. Psy's gonna trade him up as well. They get one more. Panzer gonna be the only one to find a kill. But is this gonna work? Ion was spotted by the breach, but he gets taken down by Panzer. Psy's gonna do a lot more work here. Hoax takes out. In the end, he finds a kill onto the KO, but now it's just Ion 2 left. He's got a Vandal, forgive me, a Phantom to work with. But can he actually do this? The spike is a little bit away from him. He can retrieve it, but he's got so many players to worry about. A trademark in his hand still. He could utilize it to maybe cause a bit of distraction, but he's got 2 different angles. They're going to swing on the back of contact. They're just waiting for the Omen, but the Omen is going to take him out himself. 8-4, bit of a recovery round here, I would say, but they, wow, need to thank Hoax for what he's done here.
Man. How does he control the Bulldog that well? Universe, if it was like you or me, would have lost that spray ages ago. But Hoax,
absolutely. I honestly, he got granted a bit of life there. I'm not quite sure why ASDF didn't actually shoot him back sooner than he did. I think there was almost a 1-second gap before ASDF actually shot towards his direction, or maybe he just whiffed. I'm not quite sure.
Probably whiffed. I think he was shooting already, but sometimes those crowd sprays just don't land, especially with a Vandal. Oh, the ASDF, he's not been having the hottest of games here. In map number 1, he did show up, but map number 2 and 3 haven't really been the best for him.
One suppressed.
Well, let's find out if this Grayfox Esports team can further push the envelope here. They've got Ion Q in a good position, to be honest. That's something that's not the first angle that's usually checked, and he might just get away with a headshot here. Oh, he gets a tap on the body, but that's still damage caused, and it's caused to the only player who cannot heal himself up. Retake underway, seemingly, because they've given up the C set, and this was their plan, but Hoax is keen on gaining a little bit more map control, it seems. They're heading in towards spawn, and they're pushing the matter. Oh boy, this is going to be a big fight coming in. Whoever wins this first fight might just dictate the rest of the round. The grenade is huge as it finds side, and it's going to damage a little bit more as well. ASTF finds one. DC Russo gets yours himself, but the teammates off.
Everyone's dead.
Grayfox Esports, they just make it work. Shivy's left all alone. He's down low, and he's been distracted by one angle while being pushed from the other, and he will be taken down in the end.
This was just a massacre over towards the seaside again. It's so difficult for the members of BL to come under the same page. What were they trying to do on this particular round? It's like two players are playing their own game on one particular side, and the other two were running around amok. Shivy is out on an island. He has nothing.
Yep, absolutely.
It was so disjointed.
If they were pushing spawn, they should have pushed it completely. Why were they holding that angle before until that grenade came? Because they had time before that grenade popped in, before the paint shells came in. They could have just forced the issue onto them and taken the fight straight to them. But they didn't.
Yeah, especially on a pistol round.
Exactly. And now they pay the price for it. Yet again, INQ looking to go back into the same position he was in the last round. This time with a Marshall. Does not connect the shot. But there is a force, by the way. Lipa actually forced in. And they're rushing into the seaside again. Here they go. A judge flying in their faces. Tristo, he'll be taken out by Hoax's grenade. And Hoax is going to double up as he will find the seaside thanks to all by his lonesome. A grenade to deny the plan. And there comes the kill. Great jump spot. Beautiful jump spot by Badlove. And he makes it work brilliantly.
Yeah, this is a new tech that everyone's been doing on Lotus, so that default plan is extremely dangerous unless you take over spawn control. Here, we do see a slight bit of control being gained already as Badlove whiffed out on the spray. He's not going to have the same level of control as Hoax. That's going to be a tough one to try and retake into here. And a 5-9 scoreline could be on the cards. This force coming in from BL was a godsend for them, and this is going to work out wonders.
Okay,
they actually went out on the round, that is.
Two suppressed.
Find one each, but Hoax has taken them out. 70 HP, one burst to that shotgun. Never mind, not going to be needed. Sai delivers the bullet straight with a Spectre to the head of ASDF, and that's going to be number 5 on the back of a force from BL. They did have their moments where they almost could have lost this round, but they made it up for the 2 kills that they found, thankfully, before that attack was completed, before the plant was gone down, forgive me. Now it's a 9-5. They do have the upper hand. They will look to get their sick on the back of Grayfox having a bit of an eco. And yet again, Ion trying the same maneuver. Never mind, he's going to be stunned out. Does he go for it? No, he's been grenaded up. Actually, doesn't touch him. Never mind.
That's how to pretty much scratch free. But I do believe that early control over towards a mage could be big at ASTF. What was that? With a sheriff as well, no armor, the guy doesn't even care. Has the best crosshair placement you can think of, especially in a situation like that. That is going to be perfect inside. Dodged a bullet there. Nearly lost his life if he was standing. And now Badua Lipa. They're trying to make a fast rush towards the seaside, which could be their only saving grace here, because Trist is the only one that's holding down the line with a Frenzy and Hash. Don't flash it, just wait and see what you can get away with here. He maybe gets a catch, but Chevy with the run and gun saves himself. Side's been completely taken over, and this retake is just impossible. Do they have enough utility to even make this one work?
Comes in, JN just swings out, finds Panzer now, the remaining 3 all towards spawn, one after the other. They keep losing their lives, a bit of a team flash here, but that's okay, because JN has got the confidence and the weapon to make this work. Takes out all players by himself. But this one little moment, I think Trist could have actually gotten one there. Unfortunately, just that Frenzy could not connect the shot to the head. And you know the Frenzy, it's on its best days, your best friend. You get a kill from Haven C-Long all the way back towards the seaside. On the good days, you don't even find it if you're a meter away from the opponent.
Knife deployed.
And I say that good days
Another
in the reason because there are bad days as well.
It seems like for all the players, though, it seems like a good day for them. They're hitting shots, they're getting frags, but it seems to be a better day for DC Rules. A beautiful tap coming in from the Bulldog. And I think this is a really recurring story whenever you're playing the map of Lotus. For some reason, it's easier to duel operators on this map with rifles. I don't know why, but it feels a lot simpler.
Cover going out.
Yeah, I agree. Right now, they're heading in
You
towards
should
B,
run.
it seems, and there's a big bad ultimate to make it work as well. Panzer gonna break down that door to make sure that he doesn't get pushed upon, but this is gonna be clearing out quite a bit of the site there, making sure that nobody's lurking outside of A.
Satchel out.
That KO does give them a bit of a touch of damage, ASDF, but the plant will go down irrespective. 5v4, Grayfox in a bit of trouble here, but Trish makes it easier. DC Rules instantly putting back the hurt on them. And this fight onto ASDF and the Hoax might be determined a little bit of a work. Once again, the trade's coming in. Shivy comes in at the right time to stab him in the back. As DC Rules now gonna take the next point of contact. ASDF
What a
wins
shot!
it.
Satchel out.
2 versus 2. It is gonna be the Raze. He loses the fight, but ASDF wins it again. 1v1. He's ulted as well, so he's gonna try and push him back as much as he can. JN, he's playing this so smart and safe because he knows the plant is for him and the time is his best friend. And that just like that, the round is over.
Beautiful Poppin. 79 as JN, he played the post plan beautifully. And on the back of a Killjoy lockdown, the members of BL finally have a round that they can turn back on. Godspeed immediately putting a stop to this. He does not want his team to lose out on any more rounds and the momentum to get out of control. Grayfox, they need to try and work out a plan because currently their defensive rounds are them getting caught off guard way too often. They need some control. They need to try and pincer their opponents quickly because from what we have seen, all of that aggression that they were showcasing on the attack side just completely disappeared on the defense. They're not trying to force their advantages. They're not trying to brute force their way in towards a particular sideline. They're not trying to set up IonQ with that operator. They need to try and bring a different level of utility usage towards this matchup. Because currently their defense, way too static. And I'm pretty sure Godspeed is telling them that too as well. They need to be a little bit more proactive because reactively, nothing is working for them.
That is true. Reactively, they're not able to find the a remedy to the cause of what is Badua Lipa's disease. But I believe they now will be putting a lot more pressure onto Grayfox Esports because they've got Hoax with the ultimate. And he's already ready to get into the seaside, which, by the way, is being red. You can see there's a full stack happening onto that seaside. And it's a good call from Godspeed if he's actually given this. But they need to be really careful because there is an ultimate that's going to be coming flying in their way. It's going to be IonQ to take the first contact. The flash actually does not touch him. If he gets the kill here, it's going to be great, but he just gets the tap, which will be healed back, of course, by the way. But Asai is actually on the other side of the map, so this is not going to be happening. Now, with the initial contact being given, they're actually going back towards A, where the one Marshall that's holding it off is going to be probably calling in for a bit of rotation. Never mind, actually, the entire team is rotating back towards A.
This is tough. ZBL. It's gonna be a complete runaround for them. As they're trying to feel out this map and see exactly which side is gonna be the weakest. With all of the members of Grayfox now playing towards this opposite end. Bad Love, he didn't get the timing for it, and now they have a free A side to play around with. Everyone's walking up towards A, and the members of the members of BL, they know that A side is empty. Why would there be no players trying to peek out and gain information on A? Why is there no one on Mound? Why is there absolutely no one on Rubble? That means the A side's empty. No one's going to be holding it, and they have a free side to now play with the members of Grayfox opting for a retake with weaker weaponry. On the A side, mind you, which is really unfavorable.
True. All 5 members coming in from heaven above to get this retake done. Hoax, he will be detained with his utility. It's not available, but he still has his weapon. Finds the 2 important kills. and his teammates will do the rest for him. Comes the backstab. Badua Lipa, number 8, as they've closed down the gap now, ladies and gentlemen, from 8-4 to 9-8 they are standing currently. They've got 3 big ultimates to work with as well. This is an absolute rampage of a comeback so far. And Grayfox, they've got nothing to work with. They've got 1 ultimate close by, yes, onto Bad Love, which could be pretty useful. IonQ is still 2 away. Trist is still 2 away. But they've got no positions to enable themselves to get those ultimate orbs, because every time the attack is going to be able to find them. So they're just going to have to depend on their kills.
Another situation for them to maybe try and remedy, but with the ultimates now being popped, this is just gonna be close to impossible to try and stop them from running in towards his B side. It's now right for the picking with the plant going down. JN looking for that first initial contact, and that fight needs to try and get himself away. And JN, he's playing this smart. He does not want to give away any form of an advantage to the defense, because they know as long as JN is alive, it's going to be a very difficult retake because of those smokes. And now another position. Bad Love. He needs to make the showstopper work, but still it's gonna be tough, and it's gonna be rough, and it's gonna be Sai to get full control of the Heaven sideline, but still it's just not gonna be enough. It's Bad Love with another kill, and they're holding down the line. Shibby gets caught out and gets shut down as well, and one by one the bodies keep on dropping, but GN very much alive over on the flank. He still gets the kill. No, JN! He ran out of bullets, and he pays the price for it. Grayfox, how did he get this round? This was an impossible round for them to win.
I agree. JN came in at the right time, but unfortunately his bullets didn't last for long enough.
When did Panzer put that smoke?
I got no idea. I believe that he did it right before, you know, they were ready to go for the retake, just to make sure that they find somebody on that defuse as quickly as possible. And Trist just stuck to that job, and he said, I'm gonna make sure that this happens. IonQ this time does have his ultimate, does miss the shot once again. He's not been successful towards this C side whatsoever, and now he's being pushed back. He gets another bullet out of that chamber, but it does not affect anything for the attack. The Lipas have got the C set on their hands. The Seekers are coming in to try and deny them a bit of space, but the safe plant will allow it for a little bit more control. Ooh, gets away. Shibby just about gets away, and now it's a 5v5 retake.
Don't peek. Don't peek. It feels just like JN's just gonna peek this corner at any second now. It's gonna be a rough one for them. Hoax gets another kill. Panzer, and now the floodgates are gonna open, but it seems as though the stop is gonna be instantaneous. As IonQ is pretty much the last one alive for this one. Has the 2 the force in hand, but he needs to find this first initial kill. He does get the catch here, but he's now looking for DC rules. The timing is everything, and the footsteps are gonna give away his position. As BL still very much alive in this particular game, as the bodies just keep on piling. And the rounds, I don't know how to put it. How are BL getting these rounds sometimes? And even Grayfox, they're pulling some of these rounds out of absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, Grayfox, they lost 3 players, and then suddenly out of nowhere, they got 3 kills themselves. They made it at 2v2 until Shibby found the penultimate kill there, and he turned it around, and he was able to make it a little bit viable for DC Rose to clutch it out. But this,
Good shot.
Finally, IonQ finds success. I was just gonna say that he's just not been able to give any sort of impact towards that C-long position.
Scaling over here.
And just as I was gonna say it, he finds himself. DC Rose gets a little bit of a scrappy kill, but it is still a bit of an ace stack here. All 4 members slowly but surely making their way here. IonQ is actually already here as well. He's just gonna stay towards B main, making sure that nobody actually rotates over. But they're actually going towards C, it seems. They've left DC Rules here all by his lonesome, and they're confident that the C site should be empty.
I'm not really getting much of a read here either of what really is going on, but it seems the BL, they're expecting a stack towards the C side. They could have sold out the fake, but looking at what happened in the previous roundups, the members of Grayfox, they understand that, hey, if we send no one towards A, if we don't show any form of presence, they're going to think that A is now completely empty. But now they're using that reverse psychology to their favor. Control is there, and Panzer, once again with the classic right click, does get a lot of value, but JN coming in from the back end, he gets even more. And one by one, they're just falling like flies. Zion Q, last player remaining. Even though he got the first kill, it's just not going to be enough to get more. 10-10 as the members of BL, they do get another round, and a decisive round at that. And now their economy stabilized to the point where they can now rely on it for the next 3 rounds. This is a big one for them. And Grayfox on the other side, they're left scratching their heads, because here, either they are able to just take this round away for themselves with INQ on that operator getting value. Otherwise, this investment could just be the thing that sends them down to match point.
Absolutely, this could just be it. Grayfox need to win this round to give themselves a bit of a chance to maybe pull this round further. Hoax, though, gets a great kill. I don't know why Badua was looking further off the angle. He did not expect that there's going to be somebody there, but Hoax, I'm pretty sure he heard him fly in. Panzer, flash comes in, but a counter flash inside. He wins that fight somehow, even though he's blinded. Hoax now again holding a pretty amazing angle, and he wins it yet again. Although he's lost 2 of his teammates, it doesn't matter. Grayfox have a player with an operator, and this retake is going to be practically impossible for as long as he's got the operator in his hands.
One enemy remaining.
Oh,
There we go. Yep, that's it. It's over. Unless Trist can pull something amazing out of the box, because he's just on 60 HP. A bullet and a half. He does get the one. Shivy absolutely caught off guard. Not a position. And DC Rules is just going to play on the back of his utility at this point. The turret is just going to wait for him. DC Rules actually running. Okay, DC Rules, why would you do that? Hoax, thankfully, kind of clutches that out, but I don't know why DC Rules was so keen on pushing that. The tap wasn't even, the defuse wasn't even tapped yet.
he wanted to play it aggressively, I guess. That could have gone horribly wrong.
Unnecessary damage taken for no reason. Why would you even... I mean, I get it. He's triggered the alarm bot, sure, but... he's going to be ready for it. Trist has been on his mark. You cannot just challenge him like that.
I guess it's okay. There's an opportunity for them to just, you know, use that money that they have built up, because now they know that match point is pretty much guaranteed for them, right? Grayfox, this is their eco. I'm pretty sure they have not gone for a force, because they are in the proximity of getting into overtime.
Cover going out.
So this is where they need to start making a decision. You're playing
let's find
reactive
out.
again. You're not playing on a 5-man rush. And here's where you really need to start getting your picks. And INQ needs to be the star for this one. He's been having a very rough 3rd game. And I'm hoping that this is around where he starts to show up, because his team needs him the most here than ever.
Agreed. There is, of course, I think that B execute coming in, the Killjoy. DC has got his lockdown, but the Seekers have been enabled by the Sky. And look at that instant rotation. Look at that call. And it's just bad love here. He does not connect his first. He's got a whole bunch of players running in towards him. And Panzer's going to maybe try and break that door. The flash comes in, but he doesn't actually go for the door break. He's going to let Bad Love get attacked upon, and Hoax gets the KO as well. And just like that, it should be match point. They just want to make sure that ASTF does not even get revived. He doesn't even have the chance to. He's been brought down to a pretty low HP out of the 1,000 that he gets, but now it's just 2 players left. Panzer, he's got a sheriff to work with. What can you do here? Sai takes him out, and the last man standing in that smoke, he will get the one. Jayan kind of gave him, he helped him play the game basically there. But
Match point.
it's like FNS says in his streams, man. It's one of those moments. It's like he put the smoke so that Trish could actually get down and play better. He gave him the kill. But here we are, 12-10.
Consolation
And
prize.
yeah, fair enough, but look at the ultimates, man. Look at the ratio. They've got a lockdown, they've got a showstopper and a rolling thunder. And on the other end, maybe a showstopper could pop in if they get to raise that ultimate orb, which seems likely to be the case towards C long. They're gonna allow Bad Love to find that ultimate orb while the attack is heading
That's
towards
gonna give so
A.
much information away. Even if you
True.
get that ult orb right, that's gonna just instantly give you the information that, oh, they're pushing towards A long. That means we can instantly rush into B. Hey, what do you do here? Now control's been given away. You want to play for this retake. You want to play for that Killjoy lockdown. And this is where the problems will really start to arise. Panzer gets completely turned on. DC rules. What just happened to this Panzerist? Friction burns coming into play. And one by one, the body still dropped. Trist comes in clutch with the double kill. And now he's looking for more. Timing is key. But with the shot. Okay, never mind. Universe can't believe in himself. 12 to 10. And the possibility of this going into overtime is now close to none. So much to worry about here. INQ, you need to pull off another miracle here, buddy. Flash in hand, Shimmy with the swing, doesn't get the catch though, and INQ is still very much alive. Needs to hit the shot, but he doesn't get it.
Attackers win.
BL, out of nowhere, they get this map under the back from where? How did they win this? It was an 8-4 universe, 8-4. And Grayfox, they just could not cross the finish line there. None of the reads that they were trying to go for even existed at the end.
My word. What a absolute climax to end with. It was crazy. As we now find ourselves with our winners. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a BL. A game that honestly could have gone either way towards the end, but Grayfox just started slipping out in ways that we did not expect them to. They were in control for so very long. And let's just dip into the highlights, man, because this was a game that toppled over its feet multiple different times.
I really don't know what else to say in this particular map. Both teams just tested each other to their limits. Like, what more can you say, right? Each and every play that both squads made, right up till the very end, was constantly countered. If the members of Grayfox did something, then the members of BL, they tried something completely different. And it was very much present on the early couple of rounds, and then you could see that BL kind of fell into a loop, the same loop that the members of Grayfox fell into early on when they were playing on Haven. But finally, the members of BL recovered from it when it came down to their own attacking side, where they're the ones who were dictating the pacing for the entire matchup. Both teams were so even early on, even though it was an 8-4 half. But as soon as the sides swapped, it felt like Grayfox just became scared. They were a scared lion pretty much. They knew what they could do. They were ferocious when they were given an opportunity to strike, but they were not trying to actively find an opportunity. They were waiting for it to be given to them. And I don't know why.
Oh, man. Well, it is quite the game, ladies and gentlemen. Grayfox Esports, who in the driver's seat had found themselves early in the game. They were absolutely in control. They found themselves up 8-4 in their attacking half, but their defensive utility, I had mentioned this earlier as well, their defensive utility kind of gave them away because INQ, he just couldn't perform. That chamber needs you to frag. That one trademark is not going to give you the utility that you deserve to stop a site being taken over, which DC Rules, by the way, did really well with his Killjoy utility, man. And that's the difference you see. ASDF, again, that KO did have his moments of brilliance, but overall, the effect was only from the main initiator. Sky, you can see it. He's got 24 kills to his name, and he had so many moments where he helped out his team as well, information, etc. And on the other side, Hoax, once again, leading his team from the front with the Rays, will be taking his team to a victory and progressing to the upper bracket semifinals.
They deserve this victory overall. The members of BL, from map number 1 heading into map number 2 as well, a little bit questionable when it came down to the composition, but that's completely fine. And then map number 3, where they just turned up the heat and they put it up to 100 pretty much. the team didn't stop for even a second, and you could see from their playstyle the constant evolution of what they were doing, and then trying to get into the heads of Grayfox, being like, okay, our strategies revolve around us finding that first initial pick, and then we opt for a rush. Then they swapped out their playstyles, playing for a default. And Grayfox, they were doing that beautifully as well when it came down to their own attack side. But what really goes wrong for a team when it comes down to the defense? The defense on Lotus is purely based upon control. You take early control of A main or you take early control of C main, and then you are done. You corral your opponents over into a very uncomfortable little corner. You force them to play towards A, and when you know that they're not coming C, you already can tell. No one is showing up towards C for like what, 1 minute. Like you could see in a couple of rounds, the members of Grayfox, they were just sitting on C log for 1 whole minute for no apparent reason. They had a Sky present. The Sky could flash, gain that information, tell everyone that, oh, there's no one here. We need to run on away. We need to head towards A. It's good to over-rotate sometimes on this particular map. You have 3 sides. You need to take a gamble. And if you're going to gamble just by sitting in a corner without trying to gain some information, this is bound to happen. And hopefully, moving on down the line in future tournaments as well, the members of Grayfox, they try to fix this problem.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is the end of the line for them, as we will be further moving with Badua Lipa, and let's see who they're going to be facing off further in. But the next game, ladies and gentlemen, going to be coming in real soon, I believe, in about 30 minutes, as we've got Metal Esports going up against Reckoning. Another great game. As I've just heard, it's not going to be 30 minutes, actually going to be soon. But yeah, we will be back. Yeah, we're going to be back real soon. I believe it is going to be another great game, just as competitive, but we will be back with that in a short while. Until then, take a short break, maybe go ahead, spam a little bit of team deathmatch, get a little bit of fun going on, and come back to enjoy another competitive game of Valorant right here at the APAC Predator League, powered by Acer. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.